And we are live. What is going on, everyone? 1 second as we get the camera all set up. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another stream. Thank you guys for being here so much. It is a late night stream here. We are going to cover a lot of topics here on the stream today. Where are we going to start? I'm going to be much calmer than the last one, guys. I promise. I promise I'm going to be so much calmer. Let me, 1 sec. Make sure we're going on platforms. Okay, so we're going to cover the Fauci stuff, which has been absolutely insane. We're going to cover the Seattle Storm WNBA thing with Sophie Cunningham. Their like fucking owner or some shit like pressed these girls on a sideline. Women are demanding men send them an Uber on a first date. Crazy. We'll talk about that here in a second. Stephen A. apologized to Kyrie, allegedly. I'm not sure. But yeah, we're going to get into all of that here in a second. Thank you all for being here so much. Subscribe to the channel. Follow the channel. Like the video. Helps us out a lot. As you guys know, we're going to have to get verified on Kick. So if you don't watch these streams in time, they're going to go away. It's not us deleting them. It's just it's their policy. Because I looked it up. I said, why are videos of streams fully on Kick deleting? And it says if you're not verified, they get duped out of there. So yeah, we will. They'll be on YouTube. They're not going to go anywhere on YouTube. But as you guys know, we're on YouTube and Kick right now. We're going to be adding other platforms. But sometimes there's things that I cannot cover on YouTube for copyright purposes, so we have to go to Kick. So, yeah, guys, let's get right into it because this is, we'll start off with a red pill topic with women. This is something that came across my feed. Apparently, it is viral right now. And let's see what you guys think about this. I think this is fucking crazy. I saw the title and I was like, oh no.
New trend of women refusing to go on first dates unless they are sent an Uber to the location. This has sparked quite
just when you think you've seen it all and you don't think it's going to get worse, it gets worse.
the debate online about whether or not a male should pay for a female's Uber.
I don't know if this is a real text message. I'll pause this for a second. Good morning. What time is it? Could you send me an Uber for dinner?
To the location of a first date. This isn't the first time I've seen this. This is from Blaine Anderson. Single girlfriend in New York City text exchange with a Hinge match. Here's the text exchange. Could you send me an Uber for dinner tomorrow? No, I won't. On the way home, though. Happy to pick a restaurant.
W-Mans for standing on business. The shit entitlement is like beyond something I could even like make up or give you a story on. It's crazy.
Next to you. This is the male and this is the female. This tweet has 4.4 million views. She's entitled to whatever expectations of men she wants. The guy's response is simultaneously fair, abrasive, and weird. This is from a dating coach. Then Mads Campbell, an internet friend.
Dating coach. Guys, let me make clear. If anyone ever tells you they're a dating coach, you should probably run. You should absolutely fucking run. The only dating coaches that I know that are like good, at least for men, probably Michael Surtain. Outside of that, I mean, Rollo, obviously, like the original Red Pill guys. Myron's good too. Andrew's good too. But I think Surtain like literally has courses where he helps a lot of guys that are shorter, don't know how their life together, etc. Those guys are very helpful. Those guys have a good name. They have status. They have influence. They have wealth. They have a very reputable, again, name. So, yeah, but most of these, like, come on, bro. You went on, like, 7 dates and you're a dating coach? Like, what are we talking about?
I just want to disclose that, journalism. She tweets, every good man I've ever been on a date with has sent a car, usually black car. Nice.
Yeah, so, right here, stop show. Usually every man I've ever been on a date with has sent a car, usually black car, right? Now, I don't know if this girl's trolling or not. More than likely, she's an escort or she's a prostitute. or she's dating guys like 20 years her age. More than likely. Where it's just like dudes are being pathetic and sending money and doing whatever they can to just get some sort of companionship. So that right there is already a huge, huge red flag.
Next there, Matt. It's very weird not to send a car.
Yes, I already know this girl's just a 304. I mean,
she belongs to the streets.
Like, I'm going to keep it all the way 1,000. I can tell you, and some of you know this, from girls that you speak to, maybe some of you are girls out there watching this that you have your friends, none of them have ever probably been sent a car before. And it's not because, oh my gosh, like that's such the bare minimum. No. Like you just probably wouldn't get in the car. Like that's a little sus. But bro, these girls are out of control.
And also, when you're dating, you should be on your boyfriend or husband's Uber family account. I don't see why this is controversial. She then tweeted this, kind of a troll and in her own way. Face of a woman who has never had to pay for an Uber in her life. Now, do I...
And what girls don't realize is that this makes them look even worse. Now, girls like this are painfully single. They can't retain a man, so they kind of just go down the route of, okay, I'm going to troll and then just make this 1,000 times worse. But you can already tell the fact that dudes send her cars. She's probably dealing with sugar daddy. She might be an escort. She might be a prostitute. She might be all of them. And she's posting shit like this. You already know what time it is.
She belongs to the streets.
This is the majority of women expecting this? No. But there are a lot of people that do.
Mac. Come on, man. Fuck you offering an Uber for the first date. Like... Oh, my God. So, let me get this straight. I told you guys I was going to be calm tonight. It's late, but we're here. You as the guy have to court her, smell good, pick the right place, create a vibe. But before you do all of that, you have to send her an Uber for a date? How does that make any sense? First of all, go pick her up. Well, wait, Aunt. It's New York City. Like, it's not like that. And Ubers are easier. And you know this from being in my... Guys, let me make it clear. If a girl ever says this, never speak to her again. Ever. Okay? It's different if you guys are in a relationship and date. First date? What are you talking about? Like...
Do you want me to just Venmo you for the Uber? I know it may be weird if I'm asking for your address already. So here's a Venmo, and then like if it's not enough, just let me know. The expectation of it is a lot, especially if you're expected to pay for the drinks and dinner and or wherever you're going.
Didn't I just say that?
Should you be paying for all of your girlfriend's Ubers? I mean, that's a different discussion for another time. There is an emerging new trend of...
Doing the Trump hands, everybody. I'll just keep it very simple, guys. If a girl ever says to you, hey, I want you to send me an Uber for the first date, you never speak to her again. Ever. Ever. And it gets back to the fundamental problem that I speak about a lot here, and you know this too. Your SMV is probably low. Now, there are girls that just expect this because they're existing and breathing, etc. Let them stay in the streets.
She belongs to the streets.
Let them deal with the sugar daddies. Let them deal with these weird men that are like 20 years their senior, which I don't actually really have an issue with age gap. I actually do believe that all of you women should be dating older men for a lot of reasons. But, yeah, like this energy right here with this girl in New York City, you already know what time it is. So, W that guy for standing on business, but that is a massive fucking L, dude. Literally a massive L.
Fatality.
All right, let's get to our next story. So, we covered that. Let's see. This shit's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. There's a lot of red pill. We're gonna do a couple red pills first, and then we'll kind of get into the Fauci stuff and WNBA stuff too. I need to search. We'll go on X for that. But this is okay. So, shout out to Desirable Truth. He walks the streets of rather close to where I live in Brickell. He's been doing it for probably My gosh. I mean, I probably 2023, 2022. And The Desirable Truth, shout out to him. He like interviews people. He asks some questions. He asks some like income questions, dating questions, mainly dating. I think there's another guy named American Income that also walks around. He's like a black shirt, says American Income. Shout out to that guy too. They're grinding. They're trying to get content. They've been doing it a long time. This interview that you guys are about to watch here is so telling. Yeah, I'm gonna try to like behave on this. I know we're on YouTube, but it's gonna be very hard not to.
Why would you ask a lady's age?
Is that against the rules?
Yes.
Cut it out! I'm just trying to live my life. No one taught me about carbs.
No, woman. It is against the rules to be a woman and to be overweight, walking around downtown Miami in Brickell, looking like that, thinking that you're a 12 out of 10. That's what's against the rules. How, bro?
That's an ick. Big ick.
So, as you can see, yeah, let me just make it clear. This girl probably puts on at least 25 pounds of makeup. And usually girls like this are not walking around like Brickell, Miami, especially the area that I'm in, because it's very, very attractive girls that have their life together. They're very fit. They're in the gym. Of course, sometimes you get these creatures. And, yeah, it's just crazy. Like, it's always girls like this that have the biggest egos. Isn't that crazy? Like, it would be one thing if this was Ana de Armas looking type of girl and speaking like this, which again would still be icky, but it's like, bro, you're fat. Like, you're a woman and you're fat. Like, that's the ultimate fucking fail. And by the way, this guy that does Desirable Truth is a really nice guy. He's not like pressing her in any way. He's just like, hey, whatever. And it's like, is this against the rules? He's kind of questioning her. Fucking crazy, man.
Who came up with that?
Me.
Why are women self-conscious?
Me. I'm the main character. Oh my god, I'm entitled.
When men ask their age.
Woman, why don't you ask a woman's age? The reason she's upset about the age comment, and this is why a lot of women get upset about this, is because women know that men overall prefer younger, more fertile girls. So when women know that they reach 30 plus, it's like always like a big number for them. This is the first time, I would even argue 28. I talked about this on the last stream. This is the first time, just let me read it. The first time in this girl's life, when she's 30, 28, maybe it happened earlier, probably did. She is getting passed up for younger, more fertile girls that don't have attitude problems and are not fat. And Miami accentuates like this completely to a different level. Miami does this, New York City does this, Dubai does this, LA to an extent does this, Scottsdale does this, but there's nothing like Miami in this realm. Like, you physically cannot look like this. Like, I'm sorry, but you're a woman. You're in downtown Brickell. You walk around like this. And you want to know a thing I notice about girls that have lived in Miami or haven't lasted or haven't stayed, etc.? You always notice the position of like, oh yeah, I love Miami, it's so fun, to, oh no, I don't like it anymore. It sucks, blah, blah, blah. Translation, they're not getting attention from the guys that they're delusional about, because said guys are looking at the girls that are 22 years old, that are more fertile, that look a lot better, and don't have 25 pounds of makeup on their face. Could write a fucking dissertation on this.
Asking you, how much do you make? Because you want to judge me off of my age.
There it is. Judge you off of your age. Well, guess what? Your age as a woman matters a lot, okay? How much we make as a man matters a lot too. It does. I hate to say it. Don't want to be an asshole about it. It just does. Because it shows you your work ethic. It shows you how hard you're willing to work. Now, are there situations in which you could be out of a job, you're looking for a job, you're not a bum, you're not lazy, you're trying to figure it out? Yes. A lot of people are in this situation right now. However, She knows that men judge her on her age because she's probably 30 plus years old. But on the flip side, women judge us all day for what we can provide for them. Something I've noticed, guys, and I wanted to speak about this. Something I noticed is that women nowadays, it seems like, and again, in general, okay, only want to use men for two things: money, and to just have the baby, and then once they have the baby, it's like, ooh, get away from me, man. Now, this is something that we've known for a long time. I'm not saying something new or profound. But once you get to this level as a guy to where you start to understand how the majority of them move, it's going to take a really special girl, a special situation, and I like to call it the needle in the haystack, to get you to think differently. Is that possible? Sure. But is it likely to happen? Probably not. And that's just where we are now. That's why I'm so passionate about this. That's why I've done this show previously with just recording episodes for 7 years. This is year 7, okay? Year 1 for streaming, but year 7 of continuing on Standin on Pod. Because I don't want men that work so hard to be good, genuine people to get the shit end of the stick. But the problem is, it's been happening forever, and it's only getting worse.
But how do you think men judge women off of their age?
Because they put them in categories.
Categories such as?
If you're in your 20s, you're like that. If you're in your 30s, you're like that. If you're in your 40s, you're like that.
Why do you think we do that? Why do you think that we put you in like what? Simple. Children. If I'm a 28-year-old guy, right? I'm looking at girls younger. I'm sorry. It's just what it is. Why would I date a girl that's 30 or 40 years old when she probably can't have kids, or it's going to be harder for her to have kids? She's probably had a lot of trauma with a lot of men, versus getting a girl that's younger, more fertile, doesn't have as much experience with men. It's just a better play for me and my reputation. The biggest L as a man is walking in a room and everybody knowing that your girl is...
She belongs to the streets.
That is almost the biggest...
Fatality.
So, I don't know if it's women not understanding this innately or what like is going on, or if they're just trying to be delusional and like, oh, I don't care about this. But it's just simple. And 100% of men that are straight, have normal testosterone, and a working dick think this way.
Couldn't women do the same thing about a man's money too, if he's in his 20s?
From here, so I don't...
Bruh.
Cut it
Are
out!
we fucking serious?
Couldn't
Just
women
trying
do
to
the
live
same
my
thing?
life.
Look at this.
No one taught me about carbs.
Look at this. Look at this.
Couldn't women?
Look at this, bro. Fat as shit.
Cut it out!
Disgusting.
I'm just trying
Like,
to live my
look
life.
at this. Like,
No one taught me
Bro.
about carbs.
oh my God. And here's the thing. This girl doesn't know how bad she has it. I mean, she does. But you're in Miami. You're in a big city. You're in a city that dominates with beauty. You walk outside every day and you see some of the most attractive people you can ever even imagine seeing in your life. You're like wondering, how did God create someone so good looking? Seriously, all the time. You go to the gym, you go to dinner, you go out, you go anywhere, right? You walk around, you go on a run at all times of day. 6 a.m., 6 p.m., 2 a.m., all times of day. And you're a woman and you're having this attitude. And this is the other thing too. Because of, and I hate blaming social media, but it's true. This girl, his phone is literally in her hand like this. It's like her fucking handcuff. It's in her fucking hand like a handcuff. In her free time, she's the type of girl to just sit there and like scroll like this and have that like fucking double chin and just be like...
Cut it out! I'm just
Ew.
trying to live my life.
He's not 6'6".
No one taught
Ew.
me about carbs.
Ew. Fucking L, man.
Fatality.
It's just crazy. And like when you're like this girl and maybe like a Pittsburgh or Wichita, Kansas, Des Moines, Iowa would have a better chance, obviously, dating. But see, she has the mind virus of oh no, my guy needs to be 6'6", play in the NFL, etc., and be loyal to me. Like, dude, you're fat.
Cut it out.
And the reason that I'm big on this with the fat problem is because it's not even about your aesthetic physically. I mean, it kind of is. It's more about your mindset. How do you allow yourself to get fat? I have been sick since October. Some of you are like, oh my God, are you okay? And yes, I'm fine. Getting better, hopefully. We'll see. But it's like a year-long process. Symptoms, getting better, walking up steps, being out of breath, body chills all day, sweating just before I just got on stream, but I'm here to grind. I'm here to put in the work. And I'm still going to the gym almost every day. I'm running damn near 5 miles 3 to 4 times a week. I'm not allowing myself to ever get into a position where I could be fat or put on weight or show it in any significant way. Now, the reason is because as men, well, we have to rise to the occasion. We have to be smart. We have to be in shape. We have to be intelligent. We have to have status. We have to have influence. We have to have we have to have everything, right? She can just exist because she has a pair of tits and can put 25 pounds of makeup on and think that she looks aesthetically pleasing because she's carrying a go-yard bag walking around in Brickell. But the reality of the situation is this girl's life is horrible. She probably has like 3 dudes, maybe more, that she's like trying to get with, etc. See, they'll take her seriously, but they're just using her for sex. She's angry at the world. She's mad that someone's asking her age. Hey, someone comes up, 28. Well, and it's different for men. Fair. But this girl, I guarantee you, is probably like 33, 34. More than likely.
Do the same thing about a man's money too. If he's in his 20s.
I'm not from here, so I don't. We're from Europe, so we.
She belongs to the streets. She belongs to the streets. She belongs to the streets.
By the way, as she's walking in the streets, big red flag, guys. Big, big red pill. We're going to come back to the main screen for this one. Big red pill for you guys. If a woman, like in this video, who is by herself walking around in Brickell, is traveling, she has said she's from Europe or anywhere, she's in Miami alone or with girls, huge, huge problem. And the reason it's a problem is women only go to Miami for one thing. They go to Miami to find high status guys, to be on boats, to network, and hopefully find someone that they want to be with.
Fatality.
And this is also why men have a massive problem when girls are saying, oh yeah, I'm in a relationship, but I'm going to Vegas. I'm going to Scottsdale. I'm going to Miami. Because I know, being the guy that had been single for a very long time, what it's like to deal with girls that come in from out of town that say they maybe have a guy they're talking to or don't tell you they have a boyfriend. Then 3 days later, you find out that they have a whole ass boyfriend. And this is why, fundamentally, overall, men have a problem with this. There is multiple videos all over the internet, and I have to find it. I'll try to find it for you guys, of women being interviewed and them asking them about this topic. And these women were very honest. They were just like, yeah, you should definitely not allow her to go. Now, stop the show. It's not allowing your girl to do anything, go on a girl's trip. It's not, has nothing to do with that. If her brain even thinks that it is somewhat okay, acceptable, etc., to do that while in a relationship with you, you immediately, and I mean immediately, cut her off. Because you, my friend, are dealing with the girl.
She belongs to the streets.
And when they belong to the streets, like in this video, you stay them in the streets. You keep them in the streets. You let them stay in the streets forever. Crazy, man. Literally fucking nuts.
Work in a different way.
What part of Europe?
Sweden.
Oh, that's
old are you
also Matt.
She belongs to the streets.
Bruh.
Why would you ask a lady's age?
Is that against the rules?
She's like 30 plus.
That's an ick. Big ick.
Who came up with that?
Me.
Why are women self-conscious when men ask their age?
So, yeah, guys, that's a massive L.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Cut.
crazy, man. Anyway, back to the show. All right, we got to cover the Stephen A stuff with Kyrie. I don't know. I haven't seen this video, but it has a lot of views, so maybe he did apologize. I'm not sure. First time I'm seeing this. What else do we have? Any of the red pill stuff? We got Fauci. I'm going to react to this really quick. Another red pill video, just a guy kind of explaining wealthy couples versus broke couples. I had it sent to me by somebody, and I want to react to this now. Let's see.
Use the weekend to forget about their real life. Wealthy couples use the weekend to plan their dream life. Broke couples split every single expense. Wealthy couples live off of one income and invest the other. Broke
I don't know about that one.
couples allow each other to make excuses. Wealthy couples hold each other accountable. Broke couples fight.
Another red pill for you guys, okay? When you meet said girl, if she is heavy, overweight, obese, fat, what makes you think that once you get into the relationship that you're going to be able to convince her to get into the gym? Because odds are you're not going to. If she is single and fat and out of shape and doesn't go to the gym, that's a huge, huge problem.
Fatality.
And the reason that's a problem is us men look at that being like, I'm going to the gym. I'm trying to be aesthetically pleasing. I'm trying to take care of myself. Now we have a lifestyle compatibility when I'm like, hey, let's go to the gym. Hey, let's go do this. You're going to be like, no, I'm good. Yeah, massive problem, guys. Big, big problem.
About who's right and who's wrong. Wealthy couples focus on solving the problem together.
See, in an ideal world, that sounds good. Sure. Let's just play this again because I need to break something down here.
Who's right and who's wrong. Wealthy couples focus on solving the problem together.
Do you think that most women are going to be interested in solving problems together? The answer is a profound fucking no.
Fatality.
Some are, sure, if you find the right one. But what I've noticed, and I've been around a long time, if it's not on their schedule, if it's not in what they want to do, it's not how they feel, they're not at all interested. Is you as the man become a bitch because your sexual market value is way too low. You apologize, you think it's all good, but what you just did was made her less attracted to you. And what happens in these situations is what had originally attracted you for her, all of a sudden now isn't there. It's gone. And slowly over time, it just gets worse. And then you wake up one day and you're like, stop the show. Wait a minute. Why did she leave me? Why did she cheat on me? Why did she do this? Now, there's a part of it where they have bad character that you can't do anything about. That sucks. But you should be able to figure out early on. And if you watch me enough, you'll be able to do that. But on the other end, you can only trust her to be a woman. And instead of hating women, you need to understand them for what they're good and what they're bad at and move accordingly. Let me say that again for everybody in the back who thinks I hate women, I talk this way. No. For the record, and I've said this for a very long time, it should never be you hate women. It should be you understand them so much that you reach a point where nothing really phases you. And if you can get there, which I'm lucky enough to be right now, it is a very peaceful place. So many of you show me things, tell me things, see things on social media, and it's like, oh my gosh, and isn't this the craziest thing ever? It can be. I just commented on a few of those. You've got to remember, we're on a stream, we're reacting, so I got to try to play it up a little bit. But in my day-to-day life, nothing phases me at all. Like, once you really, like, and this is the thing that, And I agree with Myron on this position. Myron has like the 5 standards that you need to do as a guy. And I agree with him on this. It's like by the time you're 35 years old, you need to have 6 months to a year of savings. You need to have sex with at least 35 different girls. And then there's like 3 or 4 other ones, right? And people get very tied up on the 35 girls one, where it's like, oh my gosh, I've had sex with 31 girls and I'm in a really great relationship right now. Does that mean I need to break up and have sex with 4 more different girls? No, of fucking course not. But the reason he says that, and this is where like you can determine somebody with high IQ and low IQ. Read in between the lines. Listen in between the lines of what he's saying. If you have the ability as a man in 2026 to get 35 different girls to say yes to sleep with you, I would argue you've mastered understanding females to a level that most people haven't. And the reason I say that now is just look at the numbers. 60% of Gen Z men have left the dating marketplace completely. Most women are not attracted to most men. Most women on dating apps prefer guys over 6'2" or 3, not even 6 foot anymore. Most women prefer guys making 6 figures a year. So if you're a dude and you're able to get 35 different girls to say yes to you, I would argue you've understood women at an innate level. You've mastered it to the point where nothing should really faze you. And as someone that, when I was growing up, was very into my faith, being Catholic, altar server, the whole thing. I was in my first relationship. It was the first girl I was ever with. I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. We're going to get married. Like, this is amazing. This is how it was supposed to be. And then life hits you right in the fucking face.
Fatality.
And you have to adapt or die. And the reality of the situation now in 2026 is that the majority of women do not want to be more sexually experienced than you as a man. And if any woman sits there and tells you, oh no, I'll teach him through it. I'll make him better. It is such fucking bullshit.
Haram!
I'm telling you, they are full of shit. They're just trying to sound politically correct and they're trying to sound good. All I'm telling you is this. I'm not saying to do the 35 number to not. You need to have the ability as a man to persuade tons of different girls from different states, races, religions, backgrounds, everywhere to get with you. Because if you can do that as a guy, and it's genuine, and it's not forced, and everything is consensual, I would argue you've understood women at a very innate and deep level, and you've mastered one of the most important life skills, which is sales. Back to the show.
Couples order takeout every night. Wealthy couples have their meal prep set up. The best thing you can do in life is be with somebody who pushes you to be better, not someone who pulls you into your bad habits. Broke couples use the weekend to forget about their real life.
I agree with some of these. Some of these I don't. All right, let's get into the Fauci stuff. Actually, we're going to do the WNBA right now because this shit was crazy. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It might come up as the first thing. Oh, shit. Oh, no.
We've already made it. We're going to be fine. It's going to be your generation that pays the price. That choice belongs to you.
That's not good.
Political cretin, and you need to get the fuck out of here.
It's not good. Not good. All right. So this shit's crazy in the WNBA. So this fucking baboon,
Cut it out!
fucking typical owner of a
I'm just trying to
WNBA
live
team
my
with
life.
ownership group.
No one taught me
Fucking
about
old
carbs.
woman, fat as shit, looking like Megan Rapinoe and Ellen DeGeneres had a kid. Allegedly, we'll find the video. This lady pressed like 2 16-year-old girls at a Seattle Storm, Indiana Fever game, WNBA game, because the girls were holding up signs saying, like, thank you, Sophie Cunningham, for standing up. Men should not be allowed to play in women's sports. So, of course, Seattle being the whack job place that it is, yeah, it just gets terrible. Wait, what? Bro, do you hear these people? Are they slow? Why is she talking like that? I get it. Is there a video? I saw the girls got. Okay, maybe this.
We love Sophie. Like, well, we were just.
So this is, I guess, the girls getting interviewed. Okay, so, this happened 2 days ago, I guess. Okay, so Clay Travis tweeted, "Holy crap! A WNBA owner cursed out 2 teenage girls at last night's Seattle, Indiana WNBA game for cheering for Sophie Cunningham and supporting her stance on no men and women's sports." W. Now, supposedly, this fucking fat ass of the Seattle Storm pressed these 2 16-year-old girls, which, by the way, they don't look 16, but they pressed these 2 16-year-old girls about the sign. Here it is.
Well, we were just sitting there with our signs that said, like,
the video will play in a second.
Sophie,
it's on Frozen,
like,
guys.
thank you, Sophie, for speaking up. And so we were holding on, just watching the game. Again, like, we were being super great.
So these 2 girls on the right were the ones that were at the game supporting Sophie Cunningham. W them. They should not be ashamed for doing this. I actually love that they did this in Seattle. It's just hilarious.
Said anything to anyone else. We were being super respectful. We were just holding our signs and cheering for both teams. And this lady, older lady, comes up to us, and at first I think she's gonna be nice, and then she asked, like, "What are you guys doing?" or something like that. And then it was like, "Jesus loves everyone." That's what she told us, and I was like, "Oh, I know. Like, I'm religious. Like, I know."
Where in the Bible, because you want to bring up Jesus loves everyone, where in the Bible does it bring up men playing in women's sports? Where in the Bible does it speak about the fact that you can change your gender or not identify with a gender or not know what your gender is? How can I trust you to be a civilized person if you can't wake up in the morning and decide what you are? Seeing a trend here?
You know, like, I know. Nice. Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, I hope Jesus can forgive you for what sin you've done." And
what?
Like that, and then she told us that we were effing insane,
and she's like, and she went like insane.
Yeah.
She's like, you better stop this
and stop pulling
shit.
This. Yeah.
And
for you guys
I
to
hope
come
God
here
can
and
save
pull
you.
This. Yeah.
She said, for you to come.
Hey, bitch. I hope God can save you from some fucking calories.
Cut it
and
out!
by the way, I'm not talking about these girls. I'm talking about the owner.
I'm just trying to live my life.
Like,
no one taught me about carbs.
Here and pull this shit.
Yeah.
She said the word.
Yeah.
Did she say effing insane or the fucking
No,
insane?
she said the word. Yeah.
And nobody around you spoke up for you.
No.
So,
No.
I will say, Annalie, when I came over, you were in tears.
Yeah, I've never been yelled at like that. I mean, I've had people hate on me on the internet, but like it doesn't really affect me as much because it's just people on.
And guys, think about this. You have 2 girls that are not brainwashed by liberalism, deep liberalism, and feminism that just want to have. That's a huge problem. I don't want to be in a pool swimming with a dude that is Michael Phelps level aesthetic. I have no chance to win. Like, it's not fair, right? So they're all about inclusion and equality and fairness. What about this is fair? Because nothing here is fair, actually. And what pissed this lady off from the Seattle Storm is that you have 2 girls here that look very normal, probably have good parents, they're very religious, they have faith, they believe in the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That is the biggest threat to deep-rooted liberalism. I'm telling you, it terrifies them that they have not been able to brainwash 2 girls like this and having purple hair, being fat as shit, smelling, having a bunch of piercings and tattoos, and just looking like fucking trash. So hopefully it doesn't get to them. Hopefully their parents are, kind of reinstilling who they are as human beings. But I think they're going to be fine. They seem very level-headed. Obviously, they went to a WNBA game to make noise. But I think they just went there in hopes of Sophie Cunningham seeing the shirts that they had and the signs and maybe getting a picture with her or getting an autograph or something like that, but not causing this crazy controversy. But this fucking fat ass from the Seattle Storm had to make it a problem. And, like, if you're a full-grown functioning adult and 16-year-old kids are at a basketball game, holding up a sign, supporting a player, supporting their movement, etc., and you feel the need to press them and go at them, well, like, there's nothing else I can say to you. Like, you're just a fucking idiot. Like,
Stupid.
crazy, man.
That just took me by surprise because I thought she was gonna be nice, and then she started like screaming at us and cussing at us. So yeah.
And so you said she walked away, and we thought that was kind of it. But she mentioned something to you about like working for the team, or
there was another lady that like told us like we were able to have our opinions, but we needed to not be political about it. And I tried to explain to her I wasn't trying to be political. I was just trying to support Sophie and support the other team.
What about this sign is political? The sign says in red color, thank you. So, and by the way, guys, the reason I'm like narrating this is we have some people that are going to hear this on audio. We're going to get this up on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and it'll probably be audio only. So a lot of people are going to be listening. They'll be in their car. They think I have such a good ASMR voice or something. I don't know why they listen or watch me, but here we are late night. Shout out to you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Follow the channel. Like the video, please. It helps us a lot. Pushes us into the algorithm. But this sign literally says, thank you, Sophie, for speaking up for girls. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
And you were just sitting there watching.
By the way, look at this fucking whale next to her.
Cut it out!
Like, guys, I want you to see this right here. This this picture, we'll do like the right here. So look at these two girls. The two girls on the left here are the 16-year-olds that got pressed. Whoops. And then the one on the right is what happens when you brainwash a woman, take her into the deep waters of liberalism and feminism, and this is the end and final product. Massive fucking failure. Anyway, I don't know if she said anything else. Okay.
No, she said the word.
And nobody around you spoke up for you.
No.
6 million views, by the
when
way.
I came over, you were in tears.
Yeah, I've never been yelled at like that. I mean, I've had people hate on me on the internet, but like it doesn't really affect me as much because it's just people online. But that just took me by surprise because I thought she was gonna be nice, and then she started like screaming at us and cussing at us. So yeah.
And so you said she walked away, and we thought that was kind of it. But she mentioned something to you about like working for the team, or
there was another lady that like told us like we were able to have our opinions, but we needed to not be political about it. And I tried to explain to her I wasn't trying to be political. I was just trying to support Sophie and support the other team.
And you were just sitting there watching.
Yeah, we hadn't interacted with anyone except for like saying it. Yeah, like we were really nice and stuff. And then this lady told us like, "Oh, do you know who that is?" And we were like, "No."
So what was your reaction when I texted you that is the owner of the team?
It's just sad. We were like, "What?" Yeah, we were shocked. Yeah, it's disappointing though too, because she's also a woman and she just kind of cussed out two 16-year-olds that were just trying to have fun. We weren't trying to be political. You're just trying to support Sophie, which I guess maybe that. Oh, well.
Yeah. And so overall, because I know that wasn't the only person who was like giving you a hard time, kind of.
There was more.
I mean, did you feel like they've got their no hate signs up, and did you feel welcome?
No, the whole time we were kind of on edge. I was like, should we pull our sign out? I don't know. Yeah. And the lady was sitting right across from us, and the two people on the side of us were like turning their back and trying to sit as far away from us. Yeah, they did not.
Because one of them, when you sat down, did you notice that they had no hate in these United States?
I didn't notice it till after she had said something like, Sophie's not actually speaking up for girls, which who else would she is? But anyways.
Yeah. I mean, just in general, like, you're at this sporting event that really is about the peak of female athletes.
By the way, shout out to this girl. 16-year-old, both of them, right? Very well spoken, very professional, not even trying to bash anyone in a situation where yours truly would be fucking...
And for them, the owner, to treat you in that way for wearing this T-shirt, I mean, what do you take away from that?
that maybe we're not being very hateful, and maybe they should work on being more kind to people, even though our opinions differ. Because we were being respectful and kind to people, and I don't care if you think something else, it's your opinion, but obviously she was not happy.
All right, girl.
Shit's crazy, man. Shit is fucking crazy. And like out there in Seattle, fucking Portland, Oregon, like just fucking whack jobs everywhere, man. Like you ain't never catching me dead in any of those places, dude. Fuck no. Shout out to Sophie Cunningham, man. At least she's like has the balls to stand up. Well, funny enough, they want her to have the balls to stand up. You guys see what I did there? Shit's crazy. This Vivek stuff's crazy. All right. So we got to cover Stephen A. We got to go through X. Let's just see something real quick. Hold up. Okay. This is a shortened version of it. All right. Let's see. All right, we'll watch it here. This is a 4 minute. I don't want to watch the 6 minutes. This is retarded. Okay. All right. Let's go to X. We'll get into the Fauci stuff after this, guys.
Bump that. And one of those people at the forefront was Kyrie Irving. I bring his name up because I had my issues with him from a leadership standpoint. Never as a player, because he's sensational. But with him, in terms of leadership. And I didn't look at it as being courageous. I looked at it as being selfish. And I watched Dr. Fauci on Capitol Hill yesterday. And the person I thought about most was Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving stood out in my mind because of the heat that he was taking. And how folks were piling on because that was just the latest transgression in their eyes that he was committing and subjecting the public to. He refused the vaccine. New York City's mandate made him ineligible for home games. And he linked his stance to people losing jobs over vaccine mandates. In my opinion, particularly hindsight-wise, it didn't make him stubborn or selfish. It made him brave. For his willingness to stand up and say, nah, I'm not doing that. It's just a time for reflection and look at things differently.
Fatality.
The fact, and I like Stephen A., the fact that it took Stephen A. so much time as someone that's older, someone that's smart, that's not an idiot, that understands the game, maybe he didn't then. As much as the apology is respected, it's courageous. I remember the time in which he was giving Kyrie Irving hell for not wanting to do it. And it took for Fauci, as we transition here, to go to Capitol Hill and plead the fifth 111 times. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. As far as I'm concerned, both are very bad. There's corruption on both. Both don't really have the best interest of you. But what I do know is this. What happened, the whole thing, will never to plead the fifth. By the way, fully pardoned by Biden, so he can't be charged. Rand Paul reminded him of this, that he can't be charged. And, it fucked up Kyrie for a long time. So as much as I'm sure Kyrie appreciates the apology from Stephen A. to be a man to come out and stand on it, which he does, and that's what we do here at Standin on Pod, there's just some things you don't forget. This would be one of those things if I were Kyrie Irving. All right. Let's get into the Fauci shit. It's fucking nuts, guys. So, oh boy. Uh-oh. Dr. Fauci's too isn't aging well. He said he would incorporate. Uh-oh. Bruh.
Punching bag, I'm a punch bag. Well, if I become a punching bag, I'm a punching bag. But I am very happy to testify before any congressional oversight committee. I have nothing to hide. I can. A punching bag, I'm a punching bag. But I am very happy to testify before any congressional oversight committee. I have nothing to hide. I can explain.
Fatality.
Not much I need to say on this topic anymore. Cooperate fully, right? I'm nothing to hide. Transition. I don't know what's going on over here. Shit's getting slow. They're probably fucking trying to jam it. They don't want me to talk about it. Hilarious. Kamala Harris, $8 million Malibu mansions located in a neighborhood with virtually no black residents.
Bombakat!
Oh, man. You can't even write a story this good. Let's see this. I need to pull this up for you guys.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment.
I am very happy to testify before any congressional oversight committee. I have nothing to hide. I can explain and validate everything that I've done. So, you know, it's going to be inconvenient if they.
What day of the week is it today?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color's the carpet in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer.
Not much else to say on the topic. Crazy, man. Shit is fucking insane. Fucking sane. So, this is not aging well. Not aging well at all. This was fucking fiery. So, Moreno, who I think is from Ohio, he flipped out on Fauci. I don't know. You guys may have seen this. You might not have. This is fucking nuts.
Those policies were put in place because you had moronic politicians that listened to the words of a megalomaniac who was more interested in having met a Kardashian than the suffering of the American people. And that is you. Your advice to communities like that, to idiotic politicians who enforce those rules, arrested that mom for watching a football game with her own family outside.
Fatality.
When that story broke, I said to myself, I cannot stand idly on the side and watch this happen. It was about 6 years ago today that I decided I'm going to give up my businesses, sell them all, run for office, run for the United States Senate. Here I am sitting in front of you 6 years later saying, who the fuck do you think you were for doing that? It is a total disgrace what you did to this country. And if my Democrat...
That's what I'd be doing if I was Fauci. He is so lucky that Biden pardoned him. Because if not, well, it really was AutoPen, which who the fuck was that, right? That's where it gets, oh man, that's where this topic gets even worse. Because when they say AutoPen, who's AutoPen? Is it the deep state? Is it powers that we don't know? Is it like, what is that? Look, man, I can be pissed off at Trump at the same time, but also understand that this shit is party-wide on both angles. So terrible. I could rant about this for hours and years and do the whole thing that I do. But the fact that this guy just said in 2022 or 23 when that interview was, I'll sit in front of any congressional leadership hearing, I'll answer any questions, I have nothing to hide. He just said that. He just pleaded the fifth 111 times. Because he knew once they started asking him certain questions, they wouldn't be able to stop. Because people wanted to know, what the fuck were they injecting people with? Nobody knows. And the fact that the top doctor gets pardoned by Biden, can't answer questions about this simply, is a huge problem. And I don't know. I mean, are we shocked? Are we fucking shocked? Shit's nuts, man. Shit is crazy.
Is honesty like taking the fifth, huh, Doc? Let's try something. What day of the week is it today?
On the advice of counsel,
Fatality.
declined to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color's the carpet in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment because you've been pardoned, as you very well know.
Yep.
As the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more, Brown versus Walker, 1896, when he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege. You know that. Your lawyers sitting behind you now shifting nervously in their chairs. They know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt. Contempt for this body and contempt for the American people. But I think I know why you're doing it. It's because you don't want to answer questions. It's because you did all kinds of terrible things. It's because during the pandemic you got rich, didn't you? You got rich while people were dying, hundreds of thousands of Americans, over 1 million in the end, and you were getting rich. And not only were you doing that, you were using federal employees with taxpayer money to apply for and solicit cash prizes for you personally. Cash prizes totaling over $1 million. You did all of that during the pandemic, didn't you? That's a question.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What do you want me to say about this topic? Like, I mean, I think Hawley did a great job. I think Rand Paul did a great job. A couple other senators did a great job. Everybody really did. And, you know, sitting there in 2022 saying, I have nothing to hide and I'll go in front of any congressional leadership and testify and give them testimony, and then you plead the fifth 111 times. But yeah, guys, let's just force it upon people. That makes a lot of sense. Crazy, bro. Fucking crazy. All right, let's go on X. Oh boy, this is hilarious.
Not doing anything, and we got to stop with this CODIS theater.
W.
Not
DeSantis.
fine, but this is ridiculous.
This is also partly why I moved to Florida when I did. I know I did that about 2 years right after the pandemic kind of started. Because, guys, for me, the pandemic was 2020. I didn't even walk at Duquesne, is where I went to college. Didn't even walk. I still have my cap and gown in plastic. Never walked. They put us online. They graduated. Because think about this. And mind you, around this time, I was because I was traveling. It was the off season. I was working for the Pirates, so I would use my off season to travel, but I was also going to school. I had the Anthony Ferrella show. I was doing all this stuff. I was in Vegas. Then I went to Miami and then LA. And as we were in LA, it was right around March of 2020. And I believe I remember this was after Kobe had passed. Because when we were in LA, they had the whole street with graffiti of like Kobe's number and messages to Kobe. But this was we went to it was like a Lakers-Sixers game. AD went crazy before half. And then when we got back from LA, the world shut down. And I remember being at Duquesne back in Rockwell Hall. I think I was the 9th floor, and I was sitting in what teacher was that? I can't even remember. But I was sitting in this teacher's office because the way that he would administer the tests is that you'd have to come in one by one and take it on his computer. And then the school went fully online, and there was never a walk for graduation. And if there was one, I wasn't at it. So, little backstory, little story time.
Ridiculous.
This is hilarious.
You not have to wear those masks. I mean, please take them off. Honestly, it's not doing anything.
Yep.
We got to stop with this
Yep.
bogus theater.
Yep.
So if you want to wear it, fine. But this is ridiculous.
W. Florida is the best state. Florida and Texas are the best states in the continental United States. 100%. What happened? Betting on which team, then delete after realize. Bruh. The WNBA posted a video of Angel Reese and Paige Beckers getting $400 on which women's team would win, then deleted after realizing this violates league rules. The entire league is run by morons. That's an absolute fact. Shout out to Clay Travis. Bro, they should put that league under. The NBA will never do this because they're too woke. Stop paying for them. Clark should start her own league. It may not be as good as basketball, but it'll be damn close. And it won't have this woke liberalism bullshit that has plagued the league. And I'm going to go to the main screen for this because this is something I've been wanting to speak about as we are here late night, 3 o'clock in the morning. Shout out to you guys. So, the WNBA is a very, very cliquey league. If you don't fit in with their politics, you don't fit in with your sexual orientation, you don't fit in your worldviews, you are completely and utterly blackballed. Please explain to me how that is fair for girls just trying to play basketball, not wanting to get political. Because the last time I checked, that doesn't make sense at all. And the only way to stop this problem is the NBA needs to stop paying for them. Caitlin Clark needs to start her own league, put them out of their misery, get rid of the liberalism, the wokeness, the men and women's sports, all this BS, and you will bring people back to watching women's basketball. But because it's so politically charged, and people quite literally will watch for Clark and then turn it off because everybody hates her because she's white, you have a massive PR problem in a league that doesn't even go into the green every single year. And the last time I checked, they've been in the red for a long time, up until Clark comes into the league. Arenas are packed, merch is up, jersey sales are up, teams are able to fly on planes they haven't been able to fly on before. So why does everything have to be about race and politics and sexual orientation and who fits in here and what clique here? How about we just put the best female basketball players on the planet on a court and let them do their thing? Unfortunately, that doesn't happen because they're erratic, they're emotional, and they don't respect male authority at all. They don't have strong men in their lives, most of them. And if they do, the men don't say anything. And as far as I'm concerned, they're soft. And it has ruined the whole entire quality of the WNBA. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to get fixed. But I'll tell you what, they got a big problem. And if they don't hurry it up, the NBA can bail them out for as long as they want. But they are going to reach a point where nobody even wants to turn the games on. And I would argue a lot of people have reached that point now. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to get interesting. But Clark should start her own league. That is it, and that is it, and that is that. Shit's crazy, bro. Angel Reese, come on, man.
Bomba.
Bro, Soulja Boy's crazy. Soulja Boy tweeted, I knew that COVID shit was fake. Wasn't fake. People did die, but they were, it's a whole, uh-oh. What happened here? Uh-oh. ICE arrested over 900 human traffic. ICE arrested over 900 human traffickers during the FIFA World Cup and rescued 180 victims. W for rescuing. But yeah, man, that shit's crazy.
FBI, open up!
Fucking nuts, guys. Literally nuts.
Visit the border.
At some point, you know, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I mean, I don't understand the point that you're making. I'm not discounting the importance of the border.
Well, I mentioned it because even I know Republicans have certainly come at you on this.
By the way, at this point, Harris was the vice president and considered the border czar.
Okay.
Do you have any plans?
Bro. What the fuck? I know this is from Brick Center. I don't know if this is a real picture or not. Seattle Storm player Stephanie Dolson, how about retard, responds to Sophie Cunningham with a trans rights or
Fatality.
This shit's crazy. I guess Spain had an issue with their border.
In Morocco, this is a city called Ceuta. You're watching as thousands of migrants break through the fence and completely overwhelm the border police. Their video showing huge groups of people, mostly young military-age guys, cramming into inflatable tubes or arriving on shore in other ways, some of them wading in the water as they break through the gates to get to the other side. Sandra, this is reminiscent of kind of what we saw during the open border during the Biden administration through 2021, 2024, kind of similar to what we saw in Del Rio back in 2021. The socialist agenda, their platform literally says they want to abolish borders, abolish immigration enforcement, have complete freedom of movement. This is what it looks like in another country. If they get what they...
You know, Spain is such a beautiful country. Man, that's so unfortunate. You're Marbella, you're Barcelona, you got Madrid. Some great cities there, man. This is a big shame. It's a big, big shame. Is that not a carry? What is that? Bro, what the fuck? Is that not a double dribble? Okay. Yeah, it's a double dribble, bro. Come on, man. This is just the DEI league.
Bro. Wait, what? For real? Yeah, that's his girlfriend. Oh, hell no.
The ape? Yeah. Bro, that's cuff him.
What? Bro. Wait, what? For real? Yeah, that's his girlfriend. Oh, hell no.
Bomba.
She don't even know you like that.
Can you go on cuff him real quick?
Oh, sorry.
I want to see if it's switched.
Clap. How you doing, my nigga? You know I fuck with you, right?
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So tell me why.
Side profile dipping.
Tell me why. Come here, Dippers.
Yeah.
I just saw a clip of your girlfriend calling me an ape.
A Superman?
What are you smiling at? Hold on, this shit lagging. Why is he smiling? Hold on. Let me call him back. Nah, fuck that shit.
No. It was someone said
Nice
that.
watch,
right.
Cuff.
Yeah, no,
Thank you.
he hung up.
It was lagging.
Oh,
I like Cuffing, by the
Nah,
way.
just call him regularly. Now what?
Hate chat.
What was it? I seen you wearing a costume in a clip. What the fuck was that about?
But what they got? What she got to call me an ape, Clav? Come on.
Bumblecard! Bro, you don't have to do this anymore. You don't have to gesture max and be all self-deprecating, you know?
Yes, I do. My chat bullet. You know how the comms get. I be seeing you crying to your comms. We all, Cloud, what do we make you understand? We all gestures to our community.
People around you gesture, bro.
We all gestures at the end of the day, Cloud. We all gestures.
Come on, bro. Didn't you learn from Aiden? Make the other guys do it.
What they got to do with Lily calling me an ape? Like, that's your girlfriend. We supposed to be family ties.
Bro, I'll call her out for it. I don't know.
Yeah, call her out for it and tell her I need one of her white friends to come suck this ape dick, all right? And I'll accept their apology.
It was probably an honest mistake.
Well, I need one of her friends to come eat this ape dick, and I'll accept her apology.
Okay. I'll put her on with one of her friends.
All right, let me know.
All
right.
I'll see you soon, bro.
That nigga like Superman. What the fuck? For real.
Hey, yo, what the fuck? Oh my god. Y'all see this? This was funny.
Safety. Is that Marcus's job to lose?
I'm going to be like Fauci and just take the Fifth Amendment on questions. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. What was the question?
Yeah, you had that lined up. What's the plan at safety? Is that Marcus's job to lose?
I'm going to be like Fauci and just take the Fifth Amendment on questions.
Fatality.
Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Shit's crazy, man.
Relationships is just watching TV together.
It's true. A lot of people are like
From
this.
what I hear from my friends, it's literally just watching TV together. How many countless hours will you faggots waste?
Hey, come on, Nick. I'm on YouTube, dog. Come on, man. Come on, man. YouTube. That wasn't me, man. That wasn't me. I'm playing a clip. I'm on X, man. Come on, Nick. I should have known when I opened that clip. It's on Austin Reeves, bro. I hate these clip accounts. Bro, Angel Reese is fucking horrible. Get out of here with this. What the fuck? Oh. Oh. All right, bro. What the I got to get off this.
And one of the things that was new to me in his diary was his admission that he got a pulmonary infarction in July of 2021 after receiving the vaccine. So he took the Moderna vaccine on national TV.
Which, guys, I took that one too. I had to because of work, and they were threatening to fire me. At the time, I didn't have Ant Digital, I didn't have Ferrella Consulting, I didn't have Standin on Pod. I had the Anthony Ferrella Show, but that wasn't like a huge, crazy moneymaker, right? I'm working in Major League Baseball. I'm trying to figure out where I want to go next. If I wanted to travel too, like you needed a vaccine card, you needed to get the shot, and everywhere I want to go, they're like, "Yep, you need the vaccine, you need the shot." Isn't it crazy they can mandate that? I got this Moderna one, by the way. There was 2 of them, and the second one, I thought I was literally gonna die. Literally thought
fatality.
I was booked. And I'm not even trying to be dramatic. I remember I got the shot like 12 hours-ish later, the second one. I was in bed, and I just remember like waking up as a like fucking demon, like laying back like this, and then just like sitting up and feeling like my organs and everything was shutting down. And I like took a bunch of Advil and I drank water, and then it magically just got better. within an hour. And I'm sitting there like, guys, that's not normal. What the fuck did they put into our body? I don't know. And the fact that they were able to hold resources, money, wealth over your head to get a job, to travel outside the country, to wear, like, is fucking insane. Insane.
Nope.
This is crazy, though. I forgot about this. I guess there's a diary that came out with Fauci.
Telling in a very, very highly publicized press conference to show people that was safe. Then he got one of the primary, most expected adverse events, which was potentially deadly blood clots in his lung, myocardial infarction. He kept that secret from the American public, and we only learned about it because of his diary. He was getting the best medical treatment that is available to anybody in the world at Walter Reed and all these other centers. There were doctors fawning over him. Meanwhile, he was telling other people to take this product and concealing the fact that he himself, after announcing this press conference to show it was safe, had actually gotten very, very sick from an injury that was highly expected and highly likely to be caused by the vaccine.
Oh, man. Shit's crazy, man.
During COVID. His legacy is that he's a liar and really he's a crook. This is a guy who got rich during COVID.
Sure did.
Using federal resources and federal employees to apply for grants. He got $1 million in cash prizes for himself and then lied about it, tried to cover it up. And when he got exposed yesterday, he took the fifth over and over. I mean, I'll just tell you, like, innocent people don't usually take the fifth. This guy took it 111 times. That tells you all you need to know. It's already illegal for any federal bureaucrat to use their employees or their office to go solicit cash prizes, and that's what he did. $1 million in cash prizes. And I'm not talking about grants. I'm talking about money that went into his pocket. We ought to not only make the use of federal instrumentalities illegal, we ought to say you can't accept that money. That should be a crime.
$12 million for what?
Of $500,000 a year. He's the highest paid federal employee ever, more than the president. I mean, it's
fatality.
$12 million net worth. He was making more than the president of the United States.
It's just, really, what he did and how he lied about it, and the fact that yesterday he won't take any piece of responsibility. This guy is somebody who never should have been in that position, and really, he ought to be prosecuted.
I mean, how are they going to implement a prosecution? I mean, he's pardoned, so are they going to have? They're going to have to go after him. There's a few ways they can go after him, and it's going to mainly be documents, money, transactions, wires. But it's a slippery slope, man, because with the pardon, I'm not sure what they can and they can't get him on. That's the crazy thing about the pardon. We watched this the other night, this guy.
Information that's been given to us
that was going
right
around,
now.
the legend. Fauci was going door to door, and this fucking woman's brainwashed. And they were talking about, like, why you need the vaccine, and this guy was sitting there spitting facts.
I'm going to be lining up taking a shot or a vaccination for something.
Did he actually die? This guy said he died. Is that true? No way. Okay, he's still alive. The man in the video is Nate Ward, a then 51-year-old Marine veteran. Smart. Okay, so he's alive. Okay. Which I said the other night, if something happened to him, I wouldn't have been shocked.
With the information that's been given to us.
What did Sophie say? Bro. Yeah, bro. W. Sophie Cunningham. What? Just in, the man who filmed Andrew Tate from outside his jail window was arrested after flying a drone directly to his cell window. Yeah, according to his brother, he got some insane footage, but is currently in the possession of police. I knew when this video came out, I was thinking in my brain immediately, the feds and the police were going to get him.
FBI, open up!
And that's what he had happen. If this is true, allegedly. I don't know what they're going to hit him on. I don't know if they're going to hit him with obstruction of justice, tampering. I don't know. I don't know what charges they're going to nail him on. But this is a problem. This is a big problem for this dude. I don't know why he did that. I knew they were going to nail his ass immediately. Okay.
Here will come rising stars that'll come, all those good stuff. But my main goal is to make the playoffs.
Damn. They had a squad.
We got a squad, bro.
They do. People are not acknowledging that. They have a squad. You got Alex Sarr at the 5. You got AD.
Trey Young. We just got Chris Middleton back.
Listen, he'll be like 7th, 8th man coming off the bench. That'll be great.
What the fuck? All right, that's definitely a movie scene. Come on, Elon. Bro, this shit is fucking insane. So here's a picture of Northwest. She's 13 years old, or it is 13 years old. Adds to her collection of piercings with thigh stud. What? W. Myron tweeted, Kim Kardashian is a failed mother. This is why thoughts can't be moms. This child needs to be inside watching cartoons and eating cereal. Bruh. This is crazy, bro. I mean, look. Your dad is Kanye West, and your mom is Kim K. Did you think that the kid was going to come out looking like me? Come on, man. Like.
That was easy.
You just knew. And I like Kanye. I think Kanye is very talented. But this is crazy. This is a 13-year-old. What is the piercings above the knee, like the blue, like the bandit, like, oh my God. And this person's an idiot. The media doing their bit to ruin a child's life. What? This is not a child. It's a 13-year-old that is literally dressing like a fucking idiot. Dude, what the fuck? Shout out to RFK Jr. Shout out to him. What the?
I mean, all the way to the top.
Ew.
Bro, I'm fucking stuck here now. Job stuck.
Bro, there's trash everywhere. Ew.
Love talking about Israel, but you've never been here. Hey, Dave Smith, I'm in Israel right now. I know you love talking about Israel, but you've never been here. So I want to personally.
Bruh, if Dave Smith went to Israel, yeah, he would be fucking killed within like 2 days.
Fatality.
Come on, man.
Extend an invite to come check.
I like Adam, but come on, man. Bro, Sneeko's crazy. Sneeko with the ratio is nuts. Sneeko, I'm on YouTube, dog. Come on, man.
I know you love talking about Israel, but you've never been here. So I want to personally.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean. What the fuck? Abusing a giant. What? What is that?
Frog shit again.
Dude, that's a whole
We're gonna have a
fucking.
serious problem. We're gonna keep the. Give me. Just don't touch it. Don't even fucking touch.
Why is there a.
Just no.
Why? I just don't understand. As much as I like Clav, as much as I understand he is understanding females at a far greater rate that I did at that age, that 100% of men do, right? What is it about this chick that like, dude, just find another girl that's like he had to like beg on his hands and knees for her to fucking cook. And to like go and run errands and not go to fucking Sephora and go to all these places to get all this bullshit for her. It's like, what? Hold up. I gotta find this clip for you guys. Hold up. This is hilarious.
He thinks like she's on the same level.
Don't worry, I am too. I am too.
Like the fact that she thinks.
Hold up. This was the other night. Here we go. I'm gonna find it. It's just gonna be so hard to find through the clips. I mean, like, she's not going anywhere, but at like the same time, Clav, like, bro, you can do so much better, brother. Like, this girl won't even cook for you. Like, you gotta beg on your hands and fucking knees for this girl to do basic things. You know what I mean? Like, look at this. House looks like shit. It's not really organized. He probably, and by the way, shout out to Zerka. He probably listened to Zerka because Zerka told him, hey, dude, just get a maid. Because, like, you're going to turn her into, like, a dude by telling her to do chores and, you know, laundry and clean and cook. But it's like, dude, like, she's doing nothing. Like, what is she doing?
Oh, what?
Like, attitude. Oh, my God, dude.
What are we going to do with another?
Come on, Clav. Come on, dog. I like Clav a lot. Let me make that clear. But, yeah, that girl is a massive L.
Here. Let's go camping, shall we? Go camp. All right, boots on the ground at Philadelphia camp is actually defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio. Okay, Vic, we appreciate you for joining us. We were wondering, do you think your team's going to win the Super Bowl this year, Coach?
I'm going to be like Fauci and just take the Fifth Amendment on questions.
Okay, I understand you wouldn't want to say if you're going to win a Super Bowl or not. That can certainly backfire.
Yeah,
Kind
definitely.
of make you look like an asshole if you want to do that. Okay, well, is the defense going to be like much better or no? What do you think?
I'm going to be like Fauci and just take the Fifth Amendment on questions.
What the hell?
Okay.
Why'd he come on the show? This feels. Do you have a
Yeah,
question?
funny, by the way. He didn't actually come on the show. They just kept replaying the same clip over and over. I thought that he came on the show and kept answering the questions.
Afraid so, friend.
Okay.
Afraid so.
So I want to let you know everything I was saying was a setup. I was kidding. We do not like you at all, obviously.
See videos that cause a public health risk.
Sorry, guys. Fuck. Bruh. Bruh, what the fuck?
Bombakat!
Bruh. Oh my god, is Grok gonna answer?
Bombakat!
Your life. Don't let it dominate your life.
In terms of responding to a comment like that, it's gross.
It's okay to be afraid of COVID, and it's okay that it's dominating your life.
Everyone should be afraid of COVID.
You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
I can't come in, Mom. It's because of this flu thing.
We won't be free of this pandemic until we listen to the acknowledged truth. Listen to the scientists.
Oh, wow. Diddy's release date has been moved again to January 24th, 2028. So like 2 years from now, despite his recent, he got in a fight in prison. Oh, fuck. Oh, boy.
Oh. You called it bussing, telling jokes about each other. In Philly, we called it bussing. You just bussing on each other.
Oh.
You called it bussing. And Flavor Flav, just the most bizarre things would come out of his mouth, and I just couldn't find an angle. And he just is undefeated. Flav was undefeated. He would just say, telling jokes about each other. In Philly, we called it bussing. You just
Shout out to Tyler Hero. Uh-oh. Oh, my God.
scrupulous with respect. You know, there are lots of limits on what judges can do. And I try to be very, very mindful and scrupulous with respect to that because, as you say, our obligation is to be unbiased.
Bombocat!
Old. Well, listen to this. I am told that at some point in the 10 o'clock a.m. hour on September 10th, so to be clear, and this is crucial, over 2 hours before Charlie was shot, the Timpanogos hospital staff directed everyone who was in the emergency room into a different wing of the hospital. People were not sure what was going on. The staff was directed to move everyone in the emergency room to a different wing of the hospital. Then after some time, at approximately 11:30 a.m., patients were informed that they would be transferred aboard shuttles to Intermountain Hospital. That's Utah Valley Hospital. And that's what happened. All of the emergency room patients and all of their files were then transferred to Intermountain. So there's effectively no trail outside of hospital cameras, which have been conveniently seized by Kash Patel's office, of these patients ever having been at Timpanogos Hospital.
I don't know, man. I don't know. As you guys know, I like Candace a lot. I'm a huge fan of Candace. I'm not very starstruck by a lot of people. As you guys know, I started working in professional sports when I was 16, 17 years old. And I had the great honor of meeting a lot of people. And obviously it was more athletes and then, people that would come in and Stanley Cup and golfers and entertainers and people in media. And I got to meet and shake a lot of hands, and that continued with the Miami move in 22. But Candace would be a really cool one to meet, obviously to even interview, but Candace obviously is not going to do that. But man, so talented. Because for me, I'm insanely obsessed with people that are like such of high IQ and such of high intuition. I think I have good intuition, as you guys know. That's why you rely on me for a lot of positions and takes and advice in your life. And I think the IQ is pretty good. Room for improvement, depending on the day and the time. It's now 3:30 in the morning. But we are live. We are going at it. And, Candace would be a really, really cool one to meet for sure. Really cool.
It's such a simple idea, and I think communism sells. It's such a simple idea.
Daily Wire. Sorry, guys. Think we're frozen. That's annoying. Not going to be frozen for long, guys. We are we're going to be getting the new desktop here pretty soon. So, it should be much better. So, we're good on YouTube. Kick crashed out. I got a lot of shit going on right now. You guys saw I posted on social. I'm in a bit of a spaceship over here. Why would they do this?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. This tab gotta be high as fuck, so I think we should just do it. Like, this tab's gotta be expensive. Yeah, he's not
They're definitely clip
even
farming.
here right now. Let's go. Alright, just.
Why would they do this?
Alright, we'll be right back. We'll be right back, yeah. We'll be back. We're gonna do a clip outside real quick. Yeah. Just gonna go outside for 1 second. Holy fuck. Dude, standing up after that shit. Go. Step. You think they're gonna notice that we dipped? Step.
I'm not gonna lie, that's an L if that's true. That's just not a clip. And they didn't pay. Like, come on, Clav. Come on, Tarzan. Come on, man. You guys got money. Like, these people, like, these businesses barely are staying open. The shit is expensive. Like, bro, that's L.
Step. Oh, fuck. I think the guy's coming.
Pay already?
What?
Did you pay already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Go.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That's a fucking L. What the fuck are you doing, Clav? Like, why? Bro, I'm telling you guys, this is something that I want you to know, that who you decide to hang out with will determine the fate of your existence. If we play this back, the other guy mentions let's leave. I don't think Clav was trying to do this.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. This tab gotta be high as fuck, so I think we should just do it. Yeah, this tab's gotta be.
Now, Clav agrees, right? He's peer pressured. He's not whatever. Which, what are you doing? But this is why your environment is everything. Birds of a feather flock together. You are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with. In this clip, Clav and this guy Tarzan, you guys got money. You guys got like, why would you do this? It's crazy, man. Who you decide to give your time to and to hang out with and to spend your time around and to give your energy to will determine the fate of your existence. If you surround yourself with people that are bad influences, that kind of are negative, that put you in precarious situations, you're not the first person to give the idea, but you go with it, you need to get rid of those people or just move away from them, deflect off of them, and separate yourself from them. The single greatest downfall is the people in your environment. Right here in this clip, this guy that's with Clav, I don't really know him, but he is putting Clav, who has motion, influence, status, wealth, credibility, reputation, everything on the line, and he has a lot to lose. This video of him not paying, if it's true or not, is horrendous for PR. Come on, Clav, you're better than that, dog. Now, I'm sure after the fact he will go back there and pay and it'll be a clip or something. That's the world of content. But to sit here and to leave a hookah spot, which I don't know where this is in Miami. I think they're in Miami right now. I don't know where this is in Miami. These places all look the same. They have the same lighting on the inside. It doesn't look that big. Pause. It's probably family owned. It requires every single dollar to come in. They can't just be giving out free shit. And if they are, it's for marketing or for promo. But they didn't do that to them. So now Clav is in a precarious situation with his reputation because he's surrounded himself with idiots like this
Expensive.
that suggest to fucking
Yo, I'm not
dine and dash from a hookah bar.
gonna lie. This tab gotta be high as fuck, so I think we should just do it. Like, this tab's gotta be expensive.
Yeah, he's not even here right now.
Let's go.
All right, just.
Part of me initially thought, guys, that this was acting, and they already whatever, but the guy ran them down too. I mean, they could have told him to do that.
Right,
but
well,
this is weird, dude.
Oh, fuck, I think the guy's coming.
He's kind of like laughing, so it's probably for a clip. But again, this is a horrendously bad clip for public relations. Like, what is he doing?
What?
Did you pay already?
Yeah.
Go.
And here's the thing. Clap doesn't need to do this for clips. He already makes his own he doesn't need to do this.
Go.
Yeah, Clap. Come on, dog. That's an L, man. Come on. These places are like family owned, family run. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Anyway, oh God. Bro, what the fuck? What happened to her? Ariana Grande was recently photographed with a fan. Oh my gosh. Dude, is this real? Is she like like... And guys... This was her, by the way.
Fatality.
Oh, man. 15 million views on this tweet. Fucking crazy. W.
And infectious diseases provided millions in U.S. taxpayer dollars to fund dangerous gain-of-function research on COVID pandemic. Dr. Fauci, as head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, provided millions in U.S. taxpayer dollars to fund dangerous gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, work which is now widely viewed as the source of the unintentional lab leak that sparked the pandemic. Now, in support of President Trump's maximum transparency mandate, today, on my final day as Director of National Intelligence, I'm releasing never-before-seen communications and documents that expose exactly how Fauci worked with politicized career leadership in the intelligence community to suppress the truth about his actions, the virus's lab leak origins, and his role in directing U.S. funding for this dangerous research that caused immeasurable harm and countless lost lives. Now, these documents expose Fauci's direct role in influencing and manipulating IC assessments on COVID-19 and how Fauci lied to Congress in 2024 when under oath he denied knowledge of or participation in discussions with intelligence officials about viral research. We also received testimony from multiple intelligence community whistleblowers who reported retaliation for challenging the intelligence community's manipulation of intelligence on the virus's origins, once again revealing a clear pattern of suppressing dissent, silencing critics, and burying the truth. Dr. Fauci's close relationships with the intelligence community enabled him to assume three key roles that shield him from scrutiny. First, Dr. Fauci funded dangerous gain-of-function coronavirus research linked to Big Pharma and their pursuit of universal vaccines worth trillions of dollars. Second, Dr. Fauci was the behind-the-scenes advisor who, alongside his hand-picked so-called experts, pushed the intelligence community to endorse a natural animal origin to hide his dangerous gain-of-function research that he funded using taxpayer dollars, all of this in a deliberate attempt to cover up the truth and shift the blame and attention away from Fauci's own actions. Third, Dr. Fauci became the nation's pandemic pundit, and he publicly pushed lies, disinformation, and censorship using every platform available. Now, according to hundreds of reviewed emails, which are included in this release, the intelligence community almost always incorporated Fauci's recommendations. He promoted a fraudulent paper whose publication he helped prompt as legitimate information for intelligence community consideration. Senior analysts praised Dr. Fauci not as a policymaker, but as what they called an unbiased guide to the real coronavirus experts, while deliberately ignoring experts who might dissent from Fauci's narratives. Now, Fauci didn't stop there. He blatantly lied to Congress under oath during his 2024 testimony to the House Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic, denying that he ever spoke to any intelligence agency about COVID. Now, the correspondence I'm releasing today directly contradicts his sworn testimony. Now, we received statements from multiple whistleblowers revealing that the intelligence analysts who dared to challenge Dr. Fauci's COVID origin conclusions faced threats of retaliation, marginalization, and many suffered career setbacks. For example, a contractor was terminated just days after coming forward to ODNI as a whistleblower. Another example, those who advocated for the lab leak hypothesis or expressed dissenting views were reminded by their managers that leadership would determine which analysts would be promoted and which would not. The message was clear: go along or be punished. Senior leaders also sought to undermine whistleblowers by removing anonymity, which is required in the whistleblower process, as they made their complaints, and also insisting that their managers or attorneys be present during ODNI meetings where these whistleblowers were coming forward with their testimony, obviously creating an atmosphere of intimidation. The COVID pandemic caused tremendous hardship and pain for millions of our fellow Americans and countless people around the world. Now, after years of lies and censorship and cover-ups, the American people deserve transparency, truth, and accountability. The tactics that were used to hide the truth are straight from the deep state playbook. Politicized, self-serving leaders like Dr. Fauci covered up their own wrongdoing and abuses of power, manipulated intelligence, lied to Congress, and undermined a duly elected president by restricting his access to the vital facts he needed to keep the country safe. It's time you know the truth.
I thought Tulsi resigned, guys. It was as of 2 days ago. What happened? All right, bro.
Before the COVID
I like Tulsi. I liked her when she was running as a Dem. This is actually, look, New York Post is a little conservative sometimes, but they're kind of moderate. But,
Bombakat!
Kamala Harris's new $8 million mansion is in a neighborhood with virtually no black residents.
Bombakat!
I thought diversity was our greatest strength. What happened? Bro. Oh, boy. You know what that's like? That's like that dumbass idiot Billie Eilish was like, something on stolen land. Hold up. I want to get the exact quote. Leak video. What the fuck? Come on, Twitter. Don't pull some bullshit up right now. This stupid shit she said at this award show. What an idiot.
Stolen land.
What?
No one is illegal on stolen land.
Isn't your house on stolen land? Isn't your house in Malibu off a cliff that was stolen land?
Fatality.
This chick is also an idiot too. Sabrina Carpenter, yeah. Oh man, I'm not gonna go on a rant right now about Sabrina Carpenter, but let me just keep it simple. For those of you that don't know, Sabrina Carpenter is very infamous for not liking men. At her concerts, it has been seen, it's on video, there is moments, including at times at award shows and when she's accepting awards, where she speaks to the light of men being useless. If you know anyone that has been to a Sabrina Carpenter concert, if you're dealing with the girl, you should ask her who she likes to listen to. If she ever says Taylor Swift or Sabrina Carpenter, you need to run for the fucking hills.
She belongs to the streets.
She's going to be liberal, she's going to be a feminist more than likely, and she's going to be a disaster for your life. I'm telling you, Sabrina Carpenter and Taylor Swift, or Billie Eilish too, which I kind of hate to admit, Billie Eilish is very talented. Music is top tier, for sure. It's different vibe, right? But she is joining my new gang of Dumb and Dumber, the stupid gang. Alex Earl. Stupid. Alex Cooper. Stupid. Billie Eilish. Stupid. Sabrina Carpenter. Stupid. Taylor Swift. Stupid. That's the Power 5 of my stupid gang. Because my goodness, their IQs don't even equal 75. But yeah, this Sabrina Carpenter chick is an idiot. Literally an idiot. Look at all these idiots standing up, bro.
And
By the way, right now, I'm being...
Cut it out!
100%. But I can do that.
It's really hard to know what to say and what to do right now. And I feel really hopeful in this room, and I feel like we just need to keep...
Shut the fuck up, bro.
But it's not surprising. But I think I'm pretty pro-communism. I'm pretty pro getting...
Nick Shirley, asking Americans about the rise of communism. Here's what the modern-day communist in America believes in.
rid of prisons.
I am married into a family who escaped communism, and we are far from that.
Here inside of America.
You know what? It's not surprising. But I think I'm pretty pro-communism. I'm pretty pro getting rid of prisons.
I am married into a family who escaped communism, and we are far from that.
The Democratic Socialists are just a form of communism.
Communism is primed for countries like England, America.
Communism never works, but it's such an easy idea.
Here in America, communism is rising. Today we're going to be asking people here in New York City about the rise of communism, socialism, the Democrat Socialists of America. There's lots of ideas that are going and being spread around across the United States that revolve around communism. So today we're asking people here in New York City, from college students to lawyers. We'll be talking to everybody about the rise of communism here inside of America. Let's get into it. Let's start talking to people here and wait till the very end because it gets very interesting. Let's go. Your laptop right here says, "This machine kills fascist."
Yeah.
Right now we have a rise of communism here inside of America. What do you think about the rise of communism? Communism ideas, socialist-like ideas. The DSA is very prominent nowadays.
I think it's a good thing. I mean, you're in the home of democratic socialists in Greenwich Village. This is where it began and where it's thrived and where it's been thriving for over 100 years. So this is the home of it, and I hope it spreads through the country. The more that we take care of each other, the better we are.
Hold up, guys. Sorry. Fucking stream is freezing. Let's go back to the main camera. Sorry about that, guys. Stream is freezing for a second. We will be getting new desktop. I'll be in 4K quality within like 2 weeks. It'll be much better. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video. Tell a friend about it. We appreciate it. We need all of you. We need to get pushing the algorithm. We got a bunch of clips going out right now. We're doing the whole thing. But back to the thing. Back to Nick Shirley. Hopefully this doesn't freeze on me.
Collectively going to be.
Do you think if we tax the rich more, we'll have more resources to give out to those that need it?
Obviously, it's so freaking stupid. The billionaires are not paying taxes. And if they just paid...
Not true. That's false. They're paying so much tax that they're pissed that they're not paying more. But the thing you got to realize about billionaires is that, and now Elon trillionaires, they are creating so many jobs in our country, bringing into our country, creating a lot of wealth, creating goods. There's a high demand for it. So these people are very lost on this topic.
Their share, we would have health care for all, for instance.
And what do you think about, for instance, a lot of people say, like, we need to tax the billionaires more, but then we also see all this fraud that's taking place here inside the United States. Do you think if they just got rid of fraud, we'd have enough resources for everyone?
Just because some thieves are stealing some stuff doesn't mean that we should stop the system and stop taxing people and stop helping people.
Look. Okay. Let's go back to the... The only way that we in this country can do health care for all is one simple way. The Democrats, they can take this, you can clip it, you can do it however you want. The only way that we have universal health care in this country, where we still have good health care, good doctors, good nurses, you're not waiting 9 months to get seen. You need to stop the problem with mass immigration of illegals. That's one. You can do it for citizens of this country that are here that are not illegals. That's how you can do it. You can take part of the defense budget, which they won't do. Again, this is where it gets complicated. You can take part of the defense budget, and you can take bits and pieces from other budgets if they really wanted to give universal health care to everybody. But because our system is so capitalistic overall, has created a lot of problems. Let me make this clear. Capitalism is overall good for businesses, for making money. If you're going down that avenue, fantastic. But when you have a capitalistic healthcare system, you only are able to take care of people that have a lot of nepotism, that have a lot of wealth, and that's just not the majority of the population. So then you run into a ton of other problems where now you have a political party that is known for being liberal, democratic, etc., that is now calling themselves democratic socialists because of how bad this problem has gotten. My prediction for 2028 is this. I think that the DSA will win. I think a DSA candidate will win, whether it's AOC, Newsom, or somebody else. Not Kamala Harris, though.
Fatality.
She runs, they're cooked. They're fried. Anybody but her. People are pissed with affordability. People are pissed that the average home in America is $500,000 just for a starter home. You can't really meet a girl, take her on a date, court her, and kind of give her the world. If you can't even put her in a basic home to have a family with, they're not going to feel safe with you ever. So, yeah, we have tons of problems, and I do see that in 28 the DSA will win. Now, my position is I'm not saying that's the solution, but what I am saying is that there is going to be a radical change. And what's going to happen is this. The DSA will run on no support to foreign governments over our government. They're going to run on some sort of government-funded healthcare system. Where they're going to take L's is when it comes to the border, immigration, ICE, law enforcement. I don't agree with that. But we have to, as a nation, get away from a healthcare system that is capitalistic because it only benefits the people with the money. So you can't really have a prosperous society and a flourishing society when that is that. Now, capitalism is good for everything else, as I just mentioned. But when healthcare is capitalistic, you have a system that we have now where I know people, you know people, they don't even get health insurance. First of all, the jobs they're working, they're only able to pay them part-time. They're doing that on purpose, so they don't have to pay them benefits. Then if they do get a job where they get benefits, it's like a needle in a haystack. And then it's like, how long are they able to stay at said job? Then they get unemployment. Then they're off of it. Then they're not covered. Then maybe they're paying out of pocket. And I know most people, especially in their 20s and 30s, that are in this predicament. They're working multiple jobs. It's a disaster. And they're not able to get health insurance. It's just too expensive. And then the premiums just continue to make it even worse. And then not only do you need basic health care, you need health, vision, and everything under that sun, dental, right? This is disastrous, guys. And as much as I think Trump is funny, and I like Trump, and I, all day, twice on Sunday, still pick him over Kamala Harris for a lot of reasons. I'm pissed off at him about the war. Fair criticism. We have things that are very expensive. We have housing costs are way too expensive. People can't even afford to do that, which then disincentivizes women from wanting to get with men and have a family, which then incentivizes women to act like men. Then the men are not attracted to women who are acting like men. Like, this is a literal disaster. So when they sit there and they tell you, well, the stock market's at an all-time high and this and that, fantastic. Everybody that has 401ks and people that are older, it is good that that stableness of an economy is there. I agree. But when are we going to start prioritizing people that are in their 20s, 30s, 40s to do the very thing that we're here to do? Meet someone, get married, have children, and hope they have grandchildren and be safe within the same country. I don't know when that's going to happen. But I'll tell you what, 2028 is going to get interesting because right now I'm telling you what, I think the DSA is going to win. I do. You might not agree with me. I don't have to agree with all their positions. But I'm telling you, they're going to run on no foreign aid, universal health care. There's some other losing positions that they have I completely disagree with. Like, how are you going to get rid of ICE? How are you going to get rid of, like, what are we doing? Stop. But the DSA can win if they focus on those 2 points. Affordability, housing, healthcare, no foreign aid. Well, that's not even 2, that's more, right? It's going to get very interesting to see what happens, guys. Very interesting.
People, just because some people cheat doesn't mean you should wipe out the system.
And since Zoran's taken office, there's been about a lot of millionaires and billionaires have left the city, and there's now it's estimated that there's like $11 billion that will no longer be able to get collected from taxes here inside New York City. Do you think by taxing the rich, more people will flee New York?
No, and I don't believe those numbers. Everybody wants to be here, so there's no reason for them to leave.
What do you think about the rise of communism here inside New York City and across America?
It's deplorable. Absolutely deplorable that we're allowing this to happen. Everyone needs to just grow up and wake up.
What do you think about the rise of communism here inside the United States?
The rise of communism? That would be hard for me to answer unless we have a shared definition of communism.
Yeah.
You're just fucking stupid, idiot. This girl's retarded.
Yeah, so for instance, right now here in New York City, they're now freezing the rent. They want Medicare for all. That's free Medicare. They want to tax the rich, redistribute the wealth. Zoran Mandami, he also wants prisoners to get released. He's trying to get rid of Rikers Island and abolishing.
I can't really speak to.
This individual has the right to vote, by the way. That's another hard conversation that we need to have. Yeah, that should not be for everybody. You have to pass an IQ test. You need to pass a some sort of a basic citizenship test of like who our president is, who's the Secretary of State, Secretary of War, who is our HHS secretary, like who are these people, what they do, kind of policy decisions. We need to implement that because this right here in the middle, this fucking idiot can vote.
Stupid.
Specifics, but I think I'm pretty pro-communism. I'm pro making things.
And you notice what she just said? I'm pretty pro-communism. The great thing about me and having moved to Miami is that I'm very close to Little Havana. And Little Havana is an amazing area. I love it. The people are so nice. It's a different culture. Things are a lot more affordable because they operate in their own local economy typically. And And you know, I've one of my barbershops is in Little Havana, and sometimes it's hard because it's just all Cubans and they're just speaking Spanish and that whole thing, and I'm kind of picking up words here and there, but it's still very hard to do. And you can kind of get the gist of the vibe and the energy in the conversation. And anytime like that's brought up, and that's been brought up a few times, you can just see, because Cuba, what it is so bad and communistic, they immediately shut it down. Like, it is not like, they don't even let it get to the point where like it's a debate on communism, because these people, and a lot of them in the barbershop, have fled from Cuba. And Nick Shirley exposed a lot of that in his videos, and there's other YouTubers that are doing a good job of that too. But yeah, communism is definitely not the answer, but our current system is also not the answer either. So we are in a quite the kerfuffle, I would say.
Accessible. I'm pretty pro getting rid of prisons.
All right, this fucking chick, bro, can vote.
Stupid.
Isn't this crazy?
Stupid.
What an idiot. I gotta fast. This is just an idiot. I'm sorry. We already know what time this is, bro. We already fucking know what time this is. Hold up. Hold up. Come on, man.
Bombakat!
What do you think about the rise of ideas like communism and socialism here inside of America?
Are you serious? Do you think that that's a serious concern?
Yeah, I do actually. For instance, there's like a big group called DSA, Democrat Socialist of America,
right.
And right now they just published a thing saying they want to get rid of President, Senate, and Supreme Court.
It sounds so radical, like abolish the Senate, abolish the Supreme Court, like et cetera, but it's not, like,
stupid.
Those are the things that need to happen.
You see the common denominator here? 3 people on the right, on the right side. What's the common denominator with them?
Happen in order to have a political system that actually like works for working people.
So whenever people are like, oh my God, they want to get rid of the president, I was like, well, I don't know what we would call it in the future. We could call it the head honcho of whatever.
Stupid. Stupid.
They have the right to vote, by the way. Same rights as you and I. Isn't that crazy? These people can literally affect where we go to war, what gets put in the budget, what policies get voted in place because of the politicians that get put in.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. That sounds like an extreme position. I don't think kind of socialism in America is represented generally by that point of view. So.
The mayor of New York is a member of DSA. What do you think about the rise of communism here inside of America? The ideas of communism.
I don't think I would agree with the premise of the question.
How would you rephrase it?
Or let me just answer that I don't think communism is rising in America.
What do you think about some of the ideas that are becoming very popular here inside the United States?
I'm a professor here at NYU, and I can tell you.
Cooked. That is fucking cooked.
Stupid.
Professor at NYU? Looking like this? Bro, why would you send your kids to college and you go to a prestigious school like NYU and you find out that your kid's being taught by this? Like, what the fuck is this?
Fatality.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Those are not communist ideas, right? Those ideas can belong to a social justice agenda or a left liberal agenda, but I wouldn't describe those as communism. So I think in order for your question to work,
and you always notice how these people that don't know how to answer questions phrase it that way, like, in order for your question to work, like, you need to rework the, like, shut up. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God.
The assumption that communism equals those things needs to be rectified.
You got these professors and these teachers and stuff like that. They're also agreeing with this kind of stuff.
Like
and
Ty Lopez.
stuff
We
like
just
that.
talked to a professor at NYU, and she said those are more like left-leaning ideas. She didn't refer to them as socialist or communist-like ideas.
Oh, of course, yeah. To me, it's all the same. It's all the same. It's just different degrees of it. That's all.
What's the truth about the rise of communism here inside the United States?
There's a few things. So one, a lot of our younger generation,
They've been taught about Nazism and fascism. They have not been taught about communism. They have not seen the little black book of communism. They've not seen the piles of skulls. They have no idea. People like myself are actually from Russia. We know what the reality of communism is. To them, it's this la-di-da sort of fantasy life. After all, Karl Marx himself was an unemployed loser who sat there writing about things that he was just making up, pontificating. There was no connection between him and reality, not at all. So that's one thing, right? The other thing is that we have, I think someone called John Doyle, who's on the internet, he refers to it as, what was it? Race communism, right? So it's not just white liberals with communism. It's now also this like weird anti-white, anti-oppression, this idea that the only way to make up for some sort of white guilt people have is to redistribute assets, and it has to be done in these kind of multicultural, sort of largely failing cities. And then there's a third thing, and I think this thing is something that's very scary and we have to really be aware of. Not everyone knows about this. It's called the Red-Green Alliance, which is basically that Islamism, which is very much focused on conquering the West, has seen that the best way to infiltrate the West is to undermine its nationalist institutions through communism, because communism always inherently has been anti-nationalist and has been obsessively humanist and obsessively egalitarian, right? So it wants to abolish borders, it wants to abolish nations. It's all about class, and it's all about everyone being one soup of humanity. And these Islamists are smart. People don't know this. In the 79 Islamic Revolution in Iran, the Ayatollahs rallied all the students with communism. We're going to be together. And then the minute they overthrew the Shah, all their heads were cut off. That was the end of that.
And why do you think communism is kind of on the rise here inside the United States?
Fear. Americans are scared. They're scared of losing what they have. They're afraid of minorities. They're afraid of women's rights or women. So I think it's all fear-based. I am married into a family who escaped communism, and we are far from that. I think people like to throw around the word communism because they want to scare people so that they won't vote for other things because of fear of communism.
And right now, here in the biggest city of America, you have a mayor who is a member of the Democrat Socialists of America.
That's right.
What's the truth about this organization?
The truth is that if you actually look in Africa or Southeast Asia, you will find some of the most horrifically totalitarian regimes have the word democratic in it. It turns out that putting the word democratic into something doesn't actually make it democratic. In fact, if it was democratic, you probably wouldn't have to call it that in the first place, right? So the democratic socialists are just a form of communism trying to pretend that, oh, well, we're just like Norway. Well, first of all, Norway is, funny how they use Norway as an example, it's like 90% white. But second of all, Norway has a very high tax rate, despite having very high average income to begin with. What they are is they are just communists with that racial sort of animus. There is really no collectivist movement that is A, not Marxist, and B, and they admit this, they say we're trained Marxist, and B, there is no socialist movement that is not, the idea of a democratic socialist is comical, because socialism is about the seizure or control of private property. You can't vote your way out of rights. You can't, it's not democratic because you use the force of government to seize people's assets or to regulate their assets into non-existence. That's not democratic. That's autocratic.
And some of these ideas right now that are being pushed, like government grocery stores or seizing the property of individuals.
Sorry, guys. OBS is crashing out. Give me 1 second. Yeah, the OBS is kind of crashing out on me a little bit. Just need to give it a second so it doesn't crash out on me.
Freezing the rent, abolishing prisons, defunding the police. What is that in reality?
Well, in reality, there's this very strange sort of Olinsky, they call it ideal, where you basically you actively destabilize society in order to get people in their desperate.
God damn it. Sorry, guys. Fucking X is crashing out. It's such a good interview. Fuck. It's crazy. Like we're not even on horrible video quality. Like we're on 1280 by 720 on purpose. We're going to go to 1920 by 1080 here when we get the new PC, but it's very weird. Sorry about that, guys.
desperation and misery to turn to the same government that destabilized it for more help. The goal is to get people as dependent on this as possible. If you look at the most racist right-wing movements, the one thing they do is they kick people who they don't agree with out. Socialists don't want to kick anybody out. They want to force rich people that don't agree to stay because they need their money to maintain the system. But all these things, I mean, think about the madness of this. If what that's run by government, go to your DMV. Does that run well? Now imagine everything run like the DMV. Are these states any better? Is it better to live like this?
We've talked to a lot of college-age students and people that work at colleges today, and they say this isn't really a rise of communism. They say it's more like left-leaning ideas.
Of course it's communism. You can try to name it anything you want. The distinctions are pathetically non-existent. You argue these, oh no, we're not like a communist. We just want to vote you into having no property and like the government controlling everything, but it's not communist. The name is not what matters. What matters is what it is. And what it is excessive government control over every aspect of your life.
What do you guys think about capitalism?
These are really good questions. Yeah, this is crazy. I would say that capitalism, you know, in its true form, not awful, but right now we're currently in late stage capitalism and that's affecting everybody. The cost of a bagel should not be $7. The cost of a matcha should not be $10. And currently, you know, so much of America is living paycheck to paycheck on minimum wage, and minimum wage is no longer even covering the cost of life, like necessities like rent and groceries. And that's clear that capitalism isn't effective in our daily lives anymore.
And what would be your solution?
I think, you know, what Mom Donnie is doing right now is really great, like trying to
Stupid.
Man, these people can vote.
They don't think there's such a thing as a rise in communism.
Because they actually never lived it. They don't know.
Yeah, this is it's been an interesting interview. Yep, I'm out. Okay. I'm out. What have we been on stream now, guys? What, 2 hours and 20 minutes? Late night stream here. It's about 4:15 here in the morning.
My hair, I'm gonna have to wash it again. It's gonna be fucking dry as shit. Okay. That irritates my scalp.
You want
No, it's just something you stupid fucks. It's something that you stupid fucks don't understand, right?
Or
Bro, why is she talking like this?
cookie?
Bro. Anyway. Ooh, we should maybe cover this tomorrow. We should cover this tomorrow. We could do it right now. Maybe we'll watch a little bit of it right now.
Punching bag. I'm a punching bag, but I am very happy to testify before any congressional oversight committee.
Hold up, guys. This thing is freezing on me.
I have nothing to hide. I can explain and validate everything that I've done. So, you know, it's going to be inconvenient if they actually are out there essentially threatening to make my life miserable. But I'm going to do what I need to do, and that is cooperate fully, because we have nothing to hide at all.
In the red folder on your table is a copy of Section 192 of Title II of the U.S. Code. Your counsel has been provided a copy as well. That section makes it a crime for a witness appearing under subpoena to refuse to answer any questions pertinent to the question under inquiry. Do you have that in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
Let the record record that the witness has refused to answer whether there's a folder in front of him based on his Fifth Amendment right.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this special edition of Straight Shooter with yours truly. I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but did you see Anthony Fauci? Remember him? Remember Anthony Fauci? Who was overseeing the National Institute of Health? Remember that man? Remember the man that was basically the face of the nation when it came to the coronavirus pandemic that took place in this country in 2020, 2021? Remember that? That man. He was on Capitol Hill yesterday. And the story is that the man took the fifth, exercised his Fifth Amendment privileges 111 times. 111 times. It was so bad on Capitol Hill yesterday as Dr. Anthony Fauci appeared before the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee yesterday. It was so bad that Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri asked him about the tie he was wearing.
We're going to fast forward to
I think he asked
Rand
him
Paul
about
part.
his suit as well. From calling to the carpet, calling Rand Paul to the carpet. Is a doctor by profession, by the way, not just a senator. Let's welcome Senator Rand Paul to the show. Hello, sir. How are you?
Thanks for having me. Glad to be with you.
Put into perspective what transpired yesterday with this hearing involving Dr. Anthony Fauci. He was subpoenaed. He did show up, but he took the fifth. He pled the Fifth Amendment 111 times. Number one, did you expect that? And if so, why?
You know, we weren't certain. We thought it might happen, but I didn't know until that moment that he wasn't going to testify. I really did want him to testify and still want some questions to be answered. You know, the most important question is, should the taxpayer fund research where we take an animal virus and mutate it to become a human virus? We basically create a new virus that doesn't exist in nature, and we have the ability to do it. Scientifically, we can replace gene by gene. In 2010, they took the bird flu and they replaced 8 genes, but they made it transmissible through the air, aerosolized it between mammals, and it wasn't before. I think it makes no sense. The bird flu is about 50% deadly. If you make it more transmissible to humans, like what we think happened with COVID-19, it would be a death wish for the world. I mean, it spreads very rapidly, respiratory virus, very deadly. But the reason while we don't have a pandemic right now with the bird flu, is it doesn't go human to human. We think COVID-19 started out going human to human so quickly is because it was modified in the lab. It was pre-adapted to go human to human. And they do this interestingly with mice that have human lungs. I know it sounds kind of science fiction, but they've created mice that are basically human. When the virus looks at the lung cells, they are human. And they just culture this thing over and over. It's called serial passage until they get a virus that can infect humans. And it's a terrible thing. And Fauci knew all along what they were doing. In his private notes, he says, we suspect they might have manipulated because we know they do gain of function research. He says this in private, but then in public he says, oh, it came from nature, and that if you think otherwise, you're a conspiracy theorist. So I wish he had answered the questions.
He has served, Dr. Fauci we're talking about here, he's been, in a lot of people's eyes, he's a career civil servant who spent 38 years at the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease. They think about his years of service, and yet at the age of 85, having retired, he's on Capitol Hill, and it seemed as if you had politicians up there who wanted him in jail. And he has said he has called your pursuit of him an unhinged obsession, and that you want him in jail. Speak to that for a second, and whether or not, what your feelings are about him at this particular moment in time, and what they have been since the pandemic took place years ago, so everybody will understand.
My questions, I think, have all been very serious. 1 million Americans died. About 15 million people died worldwide. Where did this come from? What is the evidence for the lab? What is the evidence for it coming from the wet market? So the other thing we learned recently from their investigation that I led was that in January of 2020, at the very beginning, he was told that the earliest cases did not come from the wet market. He acknowledges it, and he says that the wet market was likely a super spreader. It didn't originate there, wasn't from the wild animals at the wet market. That was a super spreader event. So he knew this in January of 2020. But you've seen him on the media. For the last 5 years, he continues to say it came from the wet market. It came from the wet market. The wet market's the problem. We need to ban and close the wet market. Why? Now, if he were just a disinterested scientist that didn't have anything to gain, you'd say, well, he's just being honest. That's his opinion. Why condemn him? But what if you also know that he funded the lab that it came from? Would he have a self-interest in protecting himself by arguing it came from nature? So he's not a disinterested observer. He's not an objective person. He's a person who, if it came from the lab, would share responsibility. So he had every reason to hide and cover up. And that's why his statements in private are diametrically opposite of his statements in public.
What about the notion that he could just say, listen, we were in pursuit of something, we made a mistake, and move forward? I mean, it would seem like, I hate to put it this way, but science is not an exact science. I mean, there's a lot of imperfections that come along with it. You're not just a senator, you're a medical professional. A lot of people don't realize that. They don't notice about you. You're a medical professional. And so when you look at it for a doctor, so when you look at it from that standpoint, it's not perfect. Imperfections come along with this line of work, one could easily argue.
Right.
Why couldn't Fauci just acknowledge that and move on?
I was open yesterday and still am open to an apology and that he wants to modify his point of view. The problem is this didn't start in 2020. It really starts in at least 2010. So he funded research in the Netherlands to mutate the avian flu in 2010. This is when the controversy began. I wasn't part of this controversy. I really wasn't even aware of this until 2021. But the controversy raged in the scientific community. A group of scientists led by a scientist at MIT started the Cambridge Working Group, and they criticized the publication of this because they said, if you publish this mutation and how you did it, it'll be a roadmap for bioweapons, and every lunatic out there that has the skills to do this will now have a roadmap as to create biological weapons. So they argued it shouldn't be published and it shouldn't be funded. Well, Anthony Fauci argued in 2010, this is way before the pandemic. This isn't like he made a mistake in the pandemic. He had a philosophic belief that this research was good. So he writes an op-ed in the Washington Post, and in that he says that even if a scientist is bitten, even if a pandemic escapes from a lab, the knowledge is worth the risks. Now, that's a philosophic position. I don't think he wants to back away. He could back away from that, but he didn't decide in 2020 to do this. He decided back in 2010. The funding of the lab in Wuhan begins in 2014. It's not a coincidence that his pardon starts in 2014 and goes forward, because that's when the lab began being funded. But he philosophically agrees with this. But this isn't just me speaking. There's a scientist at Stanford by the name of David Relman. He has classified clearance. He's advised the government. He understands this science as well as Anthony Fauci or better. He looked at this experiment that Anthony Fauci funded in the Netherlands on the bird flu to juice up the bird flu, and he said it never should have happened and it never should have been published. So like I say, this debate has raged for 10 years. It was outside the circle of, the news like you and I talk about, or even what I was interested in. It was outside the circle until a pandemic occurred. And then some people say, oh, it could never happen. It's just crazy. It still could have been nature. Well, this isn't the first time. In 1977, there was a Russian flu. It was an influenza. And they're not positive exactly where it started, but they were able to sequence it. So they looked at the DNA sequence or RNA sequence of this influenza virus from 1977. You know what they discovered? It was identical to a virus in 1954. Well, how could that be possible? Because viruses mutate a little bit every month, and something that originated in 54 would be 20 or 30% different by the time you get to 1977. It was identical. And the conclusion was it had to have gotten out of a lab. And they had vaccines for this virus. There were a handful of labs that had it, and somebody was working with it, and it got infected or infected somebody, or an animal bit somebody and it got out of a lab. It went worldwide. The reason you haven't heard about it, or probably haven't heard about it, is it had no death rate. It was a influenza, and maybe somebody died, but it wasn't like COVID where millions of people died. But these accidents happen. Labs are not perfect. But you add to this that this happened in China, where their labs were not at the level of our labs. Their labs had never been inspected. Anthony Fauci was asked, did your laboratory inspectors go to China before you sent the money? You knew they were doing dangerous research there. Did you go and inspect their lab? Did you ask them and ascertain what kind of experiments they were doing? So this isn't about, look, I didn't even know who Anthony Fauci was before 2020. I know he'd been prominent in certain circles here, but I just didn't know who he was. When he first came before him, I had nothing against him. I still have nothing against him personally. But I do think that there has to be responsibility for who makes the decisions on funding and whether it's dangerous or not. And if he's still not willing to admit it's dangerous, then what if his friends and his colleagues are in charge again and they start funding this?
Let me go back to the NIH in this regard. NIH funded gain-of-function research in Wuhan, obviously. Fauci says the definition didn't apply. Who gets to decide which definition is correct? Scientists, Congress, a jury? Who? How do you answer that question, Senator Paul?
Well, I think it's a great question, and I think the people should, through their representatives, and it does get specifically handed down to other people. But here's the thing on gain of function, whether it was or wasn't. You can have a semantics debate, and we can have the debate, but the interesting thing is EcoHealth, which was the collector of the money that was working with the scientists in Wuhan, they write when their funding gets turned back on. It was turned off temporarily. When it gets turned back on, they write the NIH, say thank you for turning back on our gain of function research money. You know, they're acknowledging it is. In a subject headline in an email from Anthony Fauci's assistant, I think it's from Fauci to his assistant, he has in the subject line, gain of function research in Wuhan, and he lists the research project that in public he says wasn't gain of function. I think we get lost in the semantics of the argument because, you know, the science will get us all jumbled up. Was it dangerous or was it not dangerous? Should it have been funded? That's the real question. Did it meet a precise definition? He might be able to make some argument that it met a precise definition. But the real question is, was it dangerous? Was it a lab that was sort of a cowboy rogue lab in China, in a country that's very opaque, doesn't always tell us the truth, and is known for withholding the facts? Yeah. And so I think really, if we get away from the semantics, we just argue, was it dangerous or wasn't it? Should it have been funded or wasn't it? Were there other scientists saying we shouldn't fund it? Yeah, there's many esteemed scientists saying we should have never funded this research in Wuhan.
We only got a few minutes left because I know you've got to go, and I deeply appreciate your time. When we talk about the funding, how much was spent by our taxpayer dollars towards this lab and this research?
So millions of dollars went to the research project. Some of it was spent at the UNC and some in North Carolina, and then some of it was spent in Wuhan. At least a subgrant of $600,000 went to Wuhan, but another $600,000 also went to a veterinary lab very close. And that's the thing. You remember when Jon Stewart said, well, you know, there is that coincidence. It is the Wuhan virus, and there's this lab called the Wuhan Institute of Virology. There's so many coronaviruses in Wuhan and in China. That's where the biggest repository is in the world. It's hard to explain that coincidence. In fact, the researcher from UNC, Ralph Barrick, he said, and he's been quoted as saying this, well, the proximity is the problem. The closeness of this lab to where it started, you know, it just would be an incredible coincidence that you get a pandemic in the same city that has the largest library of coronaviruses.
Last question to you. I saw Senator Hawley. Obviously, he was all over Fauci in terms of Fauci becoming a celebrity and enjoying it. You, through Fauci's attorney, had security remove Fauci's attorney from the hearing because, you know, they weren't supposed to be there, was actually sit in the second row, be quiet, etc. And they tried to invoke themselves, and you certainly weren't having that. Senator Moreno really went off on Fauci. And then I saw Harvey Levin on TMZ compared this to McCarthyism. They're saying he's 85 years of age, 38 years of public service minimum, could have easily done a lot of different things, but chose to serve this country in an upstanding way. That's their position. Where does this all sit right now when we look at a man 85 years of age? Hawley called for charges of obstruction of justice. Obviously, the state of Florida is now after him. They're talking about an investigation. Other states may join in. Where does all of this end, Senator Paul? And how righteous do you believe this situation is right now in terms of everybody aiming their attention at Anthony Fauci?
I've always been more interested in the truth than any kind of prosecution. I'm not against prosecution, but I'm more interested in the truth. I would have accepted and really commended if he would have come and apologized, or even now, if he were to make a public pronouncement saying, I made a mistake, it was a judgment call. There are debates on both sides of this. This debate has raged for 15 years on gain of function. But given that there's a chance that this pandemic came from the lab and from funding that I sent to this lab, that I'm acknowledging that I made a mistake, that would be huge. But, we all make mistakes. But it's a matter of, accepting that, because going forward, if he keeps denying that it happened and that he has any responsibility for it, then it engenders all of this. But there were just so many things said in private. I mean, you remember being told not to go to Thanksgiving, not to celebrate. They're celebrating. He's having dinner with celebrities the same time he's telling you not to celebrate. Yep, he's telling his friends they don't need to wear a mask because we've studied this and the masks don't work. And then he's wearing 3 masks. And
corruption.
So I don't know. People have to judge whether they think this is something that's a vendetta that I've come up with, or whether it's serious. I mean, the thing that argue for it being serious is 1 million Americans died, 15 million people died, and it's not me saying that this came from the lab. We have now hundreds of scientists, the CIA, the FBI, and the Department of Energy. The Department of Energy may have some of our best government scientists. They looked at this early on and came to the conclusion it came from the lab. So I don't know. I think it needs to be treated seriously. I still think we need legislation that looks at gain of function and says, this group of scientists, not me, not a politician, a group of scientists look at all of our experiments. We think that there's still secret research going on from our government, particularly on monkeypox, that is gain of function research that they will not tell me about. And I mean, we don't have representative, people are always saying, democracy's under attack. Well, it certainly is if your representatives aren't allowed to know about what your government's doing. It's one thing the people not knowing, but then you've elected people who are not being told. We think there's experiments, we've asked about these experiments, and they will not tell me. So I think that it's an ongoing thing. This is what oversight of government is. You've got to fight sometimes with your own government, sometimes with the other party, sometimes with members of both parties opposing you. And, I won't be satisfied till we change the U.S. law, but I'd also like to see we have an international treaty called the Biological and Chemical Weapons Convention. It's a treaty. The civilized countries of the world have agreed not to have chemical weapons. So we've been destroying nerve gas and chemical weapons for a long time. I think it's a good thing. I don't think we should use it. And I don't think civilized countries should. It's not a guarantee that no other country will. But with regard to biological weapons, I'd like to see more conversations with our allies in Europe, with friendly countries around the world. And I think that's a good idea. And that's what I hope will be the final result of all of this.
So you're an advocate of getting to the truth, not necessarily having him in jail.
Absolutely.
Senator Paul, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Last minute, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks again to Senator Ram.
Yeah. Shit's crazy, guys. Shit is insane. But we are. Whoops. Hopefully it doesn't freeze on me. Where'd we go? Well, that's the stream, everybody. It's almost 5 a.m. here, Eastern Standard Time. We've been going for almost 3 hours or something like that. Thank you guys so much for being here, supporting us. I'll sit here with 3 of you, 300 of you, 3,000 of you, 3 million. I don't care. Live streaming is a completely different game. So much different than just like when we would upload audio episodes or pre-recorded episodes, and it would hit. It's so much different. We're gonna have to rebuild an audience, and as you can see, we're here putting in the work. Almost 5 a.m. here on a Friday morning, covering news, politics, sports, pop culture, red pill stuff, women. I'm one of the most diversified people on the internet. There's a few other ones. They're really good too, but yeah, that is it, and that is that. Thank you guys so much. Please like the video. Subscribe to the channel. That helps us both put us in the algorithm, get us more people watching, And then ultimately we can get this chat up live and firing. That way the whole show is not just me talking and covering things. We can do very interactive style of show. So, yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here, for those of you that are here. And I don't know when I'm going to be live again. Probably not tomorrow. Maybe Saturday. Maybe Saturday, depending on news heavy cycle, or definitely Sunday, one of the two. And yeah, that is it, and that is that. By the way, real quick, before we dip off, I want to show you guys two things. So, this is our TikTok. We got a new TikTok here. We just started it. We're going to be posting lots of clips. That most of these female creators outside of Candace Owens, who I think. So all these clips, everything that you're hearing me say now, the little shortened version, will be here on TikTok. Follow us here at Standin on Pod. Then also on Instagram at Standin on Pod as well. I know the following or the followers ratio looks off for how many posts we have. Guys that are new here, we had almost 250 plus additional reels, posts, etc. before this. We did a rebrand. We changed all the branding. We're cleaning up the page a little bit. So more clips are going to be coming. Check that out. Again, at Instagram, Standin on Pod, TikTok, Standin on Pod. You know where we are on YouTube, obviously on Kick. That's where we've been streaming. And then we're going to be live streaming probably on TikTok soon. But yeah, we're waiting for the desktop to come so we can do this thing in 1080p 4K. The show is going to become better quality. It's going to be a lot more interactive. And we cover every topic that you can imagine and think about. I'm pretty diverse. That's one of my strong suits. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here. Sorry that this stream was crashing out at the end. I'm actually shocked that it's still somewhat up and running without freezing. But thank you guys so much. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. And I will catch all of you either Saturday or Sunday, unless some crazy news thing happens tomorrow. But I will talk to all of you later.